a fly ball to left field deep. Way back! Way back! This ball is gone! A walk-off home run! Newport Gulls win it here in the 11th.
This is the Newport Gulls pregame show, live from Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island.
Branham sets, kicks and deals. Swinging and a strike three. The Newport Gulls are 2009 East Division champions.
Coming up, interviews, stats, standings, lineups, and a whole lot more.
Swinging a high drive to deep right. Oh, is this ball crushed? Way back and gone. Joey Manning with a towering shot. Swinging a high drive to deep left. And you can forget about it. Cal Conley with his third home run of the game.
Stay tuned. The Newport Gulls pregame show starts now on the NECBL Broadcast Network. In his 7th season covering Newport Gulls baseball, here is play-by-play broadcaster Nick Lima.
Good evening and welcome to Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island, where tonight the Newport Gulls get set to take on the Sanford Mainers in Eastern Division action here in the NECBL. We're well into the 2010 season now as the Newport Gulls come in with a 3-2 record after dropping a rain-shortened game here at Cardines Field on Wednesday night. It's the Newport Gulls and the Sanford Mainers as the Gulls look to wrap up the homestand with the win next. The pregame show begins now, right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. And as our Newport Gulls pregame show continues here at Cardines Field, we'll continue our season-long look at Newport Gulls history, this being the 10th season anniversary of the Newport Gulls moving to Newport. Of course, they began as the Rhode Island Gulls in Cranston, Rhode Island at Cranston Stadium in 1999. They were there for the 2000 season as well, going all the way to the NCBL Finals in their first playoff appearance in franchise history, following that season to the Keene Swamp Bats. Since moving to Newport in 2001, the Newport Gulls have been to the NECBL Divisional Finals each of the 10 seasons they have been here, and to the League Finals 8 times. One of those successful Division Finals was last year against the Sanford Mainers. After dropping the first game here at home at Cardines Field, Newport had a big win on the road the next night, returned for Game 3 here at Cardines, and won, and of course would go on to win their 4th NECBL championship against the Vermont Mountaineers. But first they had to get by Sanford. Let's take a look at the final out in that ball game.
Strike one. Runner at first. Tying run at the plate. 3-1 Gulls. Top of the ninth. 2 outs. The 0-1 pitch. Strike 2 called on the outside corner. And the Mainers are down to their last strike. The Gulls 1 strike away from their 7th division title. A tap on the plate for Rock. It all comes down to this. They come to their feet at Cardines Field. The 0-2 pitch. Swung on, hooks foul to the left side. And out of play. Branham takes a moment, walks around the mound, will toe the rubber from the first base side as Michael Roth digs in. Bukowski at first, 3-1 Gulls. Here in the ninth, they're standing around Cardines Field. He looks in for the sign from Melillo. He comes to the stretch. The 0-2 pitch. Swung on and this strike 3. The Newport Gulls are the 2009 East Division champions. The Gulls won the East Division championship, their 7th championship of a division, as they defeat the Sanford Mainers, coming from 1 game down, and the Gulls live to play again. They'll play the Vermont Mountaineers tomorrow night in Newport. The NECBL Championship Series comes up next for the Gulls as the Sanford Mainers season comes to an end. The Newport Gulls defeat the Sanford Mainers here in Game 3 at Cardines Field, 3-1, the final score.
So after taking 2 out of 3 from the Sanford Mainers in the then Eastern Division championship series, the Newport Gulls would go on to take 2 out of 3 for the Vermont Mountaineers, winning their league-high 4th Fay Vincent Cup in the league championship in 2009. This season, the Newport Gulls are 0-1 thus far against the Sanford Mainers. They lost coming on the road last Saturday night, June 5th, at Goodall Park in Sanford, Maine, in a game that saw an hour-and-a-half rain delay. Took nearly 5 hours from start time to finish time to see its completion in the 11th inning. Newport lost as Sanford, with a leadoff triple in the 11th inning, followed by an infield single, was able to plate the winning run in a walk-off fashion The Mainers are now 1-0 against the Newport Gulls. The Gulls look up to even up the season series here tonight as the Sanford Mainers are in town. The pregame show continues. We'll have the Gulls Eye View next on the ACBL Broadcast Network. Welcome back here at Cardines Field as our Newport Gulls pregame show continues. Now joined by Newport Gulls assistant coach Kevin Winterroad for the Gulls Eye View. Coach, how are you doing today?
Doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing very well. The Newport Gulls 3-2, a game above 500 going into the Sanford Mainers game tonight. Newport 0-1 against Sanford so far this season. We'll talk a little bit more about the matchup later. But first, Coach, it's the first time we've had an opportunity to have you on here on the air. Tell us a little bit about your background and how you get this position with the Newport Gulls.
Well, about in 01 I worked with Keene, and then in 02 and 03 I was the manager of the North Adams Steeple Cap. So I just kind of got to know Chuck and Chris through that, and we've always kind of stayed in touch, and I had a couple young boys at home that really didn't give me the opportunity to leave in the summer, and now they've got a little bit older, and we met at the convention, and that's kind of how it all unfolded.
So your history at the NECBL is going back for quite some time.
Yes, my first year up here would have been 2001. As a matter of fact, we lost the NECBL championship to the Newport Gulls right here on this field.
So how is it coming here now working for the Newport Gulls?
It's great. That's what I always told Chuck. I always felt like I was being led to the Wolves when I came here because they always have such a good team, and I just wanted to be a part of it.
Now, you're one of the three coaches on the staff right now, along with Johnny Riola and Scott Virgilak have also helped out here at Cardines Field. What's it like working for Mike Coombs as a manager?
It's been great. He lets us coach, and we get to work with the kids, and it's kind of a position that I really enjoy. I mean, I'm working with the kids on a day-to-day basis, and that's what I really enjoy doing.
Basically, your role with the Gulls, is it more of a hitting coach, bench coach, and of course you do third base coaching as well?
Yes, basically I'm the hitting. We work with the infielders a little bit, all of us, but mainly work with the hitters.
So you take some interesting hops out of the way of foul balls on the third base line here a couple nights ago.
One thing about this field, there's really no place to go if you look down there, and it's just one of those deals. Coach Virgilak told me you just got to stand there. Well, when the ball was hit at me, I just didn't have the courage to stand there, and I didn't know whether to go back or forth. So, yeah, it's a little bit hairy down there sometimes.
Coach, tonight the Newport Gulls take on the Sanford Mainers. Newport fell to. But the Gulls, of course, are different teams since then. A couple of new players just arrived in the last day or two as the Newport Gulls get set to take on the Sanford Mainers for the second of what will be 6 times in the season. How important are these early matchups in determining strategy for later on in the season?
They're really good if the teams have all their kids, which Sanford has the majority of their kids, so we can get a really good scouting report. Obviously, the face of our team today and over through the weekend has changed dramatically, so it's good for us to get those kids, get them in the lineup, and see what they can do. So I think it'll be a different matchup. I can't tell you the score will be any different. You just never know because the pitchers oftentimes determine that, but the face of our team should start to kind of take shape over the next week.
Newport Gulls assistant coach Kevin Winterrod, thank you for joining us here on the NECBL Broadcast Network and our pregame show. We look forward to catching up with you later on in the season.
Thanks for having me.
That's the Gulls Eye View. The pregame show continues. Mike Coombs is next on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Welcome back here at Cardines Field. Now time for the manager's show, joined as always by Newport Gulls manager Mike Coombs. Skip, how are you doing today?
Good. I'm doing good after that rain that we had yesterday and the day before. It almost brought back memories of last summer.
Hopefully we won't have a summer like last year where we saw about 14 rainouts. Some teams saw even more than that last season as the Gulls coming off a rain-shortened loss in 5 innings to the All-American 6-4 on Wednesday.
Boy, they jumped on us in a hurry and posted 6 runs in the first inning, and we struggled to come back, and we scored 4 and then shut them down, but Mother Nature got us. We ran out of innings.
Yeah, you had the feeling that the way the Gulls bats were starting to swing there in the middle innings, if that had gone 9, the Gulls certainly may have had a chance to come back, especially the way the bullpen has been pitching.
Yeah, we were starting to come back, and I was hoping that he might have banged it in the 3rd or 4th because it was just as sloppy in the 3rd and 4th as it was in the 5th. But anyways, it's what it is.
So the Gulls playing Sanford for the second time this season. Last time these two teams met was that extra inning game, another game that saw an hour-and-a-half rain delay.
Yeah. So we've been in 2 rain delays, but we completed both games and have lost both of them. So we're going to keep the rain away. We'll do the rain dance to get it away from here.
Corey Nelson has a start tonight for the Newport Gulls. He went up against Sanford last time. Is that an advantage for him or for the Sanford hitters?
I would say probably neither one. I mean, he threw the ball very well. He had one bad inning where he hit 2 guys in a row, and threw a wild pitch, got runners on second and third, and the guy delivered a base hit. So, I mean, you know, he struggled that one inning, and that was the only time he struggled.
A lot of new faces here in the Newport Gulls clubhouse. As some have departed, and several new players, and almost an entirely new infield tonight, Skip.
Yeah, I really like to thank those kids that really helped us out, and they came in and did a good job for us and held their own, and I appreciate that tremendously. You know, it's always a tough thing to tell a kid that he can't play here anymore, and it's one of those things, but you have to do it. But we got some new faces in here, and I think they're going to be okay.
It's going to be a completely new infield alignment here tonight with De Kroger in the game now, as well as Matt Blow, and I believe one other player too, as Kevin Caranto moves out to right field. Dan Gamache playing third base, and that puts Derek Legg at second base for the first time this season.
Yeah. So we moved them all around. We're going to start it, get it done early. You know how I am. You come in and show your face, and I'll stick you in the lineup. So we got Gamache at third, De Kroger and short, and moved Legg over to second, and then we got Blow at first base.
Get the feeling like it's almost opening night all over again.
Yeah. Well, when you get the new guys coming in, they've had some regionals to go through, and we're still waiting on some other guys coming from classes and stuff. And so we're starting to get everybody, which will be good.
8 more Gulls, former Gulls, were drafted in round the day 3 of the Major League Baseball First Year Player Draft, and we've seen one. We'll talk about some of the new faces. One old face here, just stopping by Cardinals Field tonight, Mike Melillo.
Just love to see Mikey. Right, what a great kid, and I'm glad he's got the opportunity. And he went to the old organization I was with, the Brewers, and my first coaching assignment was in Helena, Montana, and that's where he's going. So it's kind of a deja vu thing, you know. I wished him well, and he'll do well.
It's great to see Mike move on to professional baseball, as so many other former Gulls that you coach here in the last few years have.
Yeah, that's a tribute to Chuck Pava and Chris Patsos, bringing in that type of kid that comes in here and has the skills, has some tools to get to that next level, and then they're also quality kids off the field and kids that gel together. Chemistry, we bring them together, and that's the whole thing. And you never know if you've got good players and you keep them in a good frame of mind, then they make the organization a success. So, and that's what Chuck and Chris have done. And you know, the kids that we've gotten in here are great kids, yes sir, no sir, and just great to be around.
Mentioned the new infielders. Any new pitching prospects in right now? Yeah,
we got Dexter Price in, Tony Bushafaro. I hope I got that name right. Bushafaro's in. He's going to get the start tomorrow. And Dexter Price. We got the Appel. There you go. 3. So he's coming in either tonight. I think he's going to be here tonight. I'm hoping he's going to be here tonight. So, anyways, yeah, we got some new arms coming in all the time. So let's tee it up.
So Skip, 3 games, 5 days, including 2 off days. This sort of easy homestand wraps up for the Newport Gulls, and we get into real stretch time here in the season now over the next month or so, as Newport will be on the road all weekend, be back home Monday night, and then have a tough road travel schedule for next week.
That's good, and we'd like to get that out of the way. We're doing some readings in school, so we've been getting up, not early, but we've been getting up, and start camps at the end of the month, so try to get those long road trips out of the way.
Skip, we've seen some great offensive power in the lineup right now, including at the top of the order, but really some players throughout the order have been hitting.
Yeah, it's getting big. We were just looking at that, and you know, you don't want to do anything to say anything that would hurt our chances of swinging the bat, you know, but that lineup does look pretty healthy.
Newport Gulls manager Mike Coombs, good luck in the game tonight. Thanks for joining us. We'll catch up with you next Monday.
Thanks, Nick.
That's our pregame visit with Mike Coombs. Newport Gulls baseball is next on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Here at Cardinals Field is the national anthem underway here at Cardinals Field. Tonight's national anthem here in Newport, sung by Pearl Emerson, the daughter of
Bert Emerson, the assistant professor and coordinator of the Interactive Communications Technology program at Salve Regina University, based right here in Newport. It's Salve Regina University night here in the city by the sea as the Newport Gulls get set for their 4th home game of the 2010 season. Newport at 3-2 to face the Sanford Mainers tonight, who come in at 4-1, first place in the ACBL Eastern Division. Again, I'm Nick Lima, joined by Dan Atchison. Dan, the Sanford Mainers have been rolling.
They certainly have. They've won 4 straight, starting back with an 11-inning victory against the Newport Gulls up at Goodall Park. They kept it rolling Monday with another 3-2 victory versus the All-Americans at Goodall. Another victory, 11-3 at Goodall. And finally, their first road win coming last night in a lengthened affair, if you will, an hour and 23-minute rain delay before that one got underway. A 4-1 victory over the North Shore Navigators. That is the 4-game winning streak that the Sanford Mainers are on, and they look to continue it tonight behind solid pitching.
Newport Gulls, an off day yesterday, coming off a rain-shortened loss to the Lowell All-Americans here in Newport on Wednesday night, 6-4 in 5 innings. That game was called by rain. It was raining throughout the entire contest, while the field was in terrible shape. It was really just deplorable conditions and really unsafe conditions for baseball. The umpires made the decision to call it after 5 innings, and Lowell won the game 6-4. Starting lineups are next here in the pregame show on the ACBL Broadcast Network. Back here at Cardinals Field as our Gulls pregame show continues with the starting lineups. First for the visiting Sanford Mainers, here again is Dan Atchison.
Thank you very much, Nick. The Sanford Mainers come in ranked 12th in the NECBL, dead last with a 208 batting average, 23 runs scored on 33 base hits. Brett Mullenhauer, the shortstop from Radford, set to lead things off. Matt Morrow will bat second and play third. Batting third and playing left tonight with a 4-game hit streak is Mike McCann. Cleaning up tonight is Jim Schultz. He will pitch. He has a 5-game hit streak going. Joey Wendell, the second baseman from Westchester, will bat 5th. Doug Elliott, the first baseman tonight, batting 6th. Tyler DePrado, the catcher from Keene State, batting 7th. Greg Miller getting his first start in right field, batting 8th, and batting 9th, the center fielder, Bobby Doyen from Keene State College, rounding out the hitting 9 for Sanford Mainers.
They'll face Corey Nelson. The Lemoyne Dolphin has no record on the young season. He pitched last against Sanford on June 5th. We got the no decision. His ERA stands at 1.50, allowed 2 runs in the game, 1 of them earned on 2 strikeouts, a walk, 3 hits, and 6 innings of work. The left-hander gets his second start of the season tonight. He faces off against Jim Schultz.
Jim Schultz out of Eastern Connecticut State went 5-1 on the season for the Warriors with a 3.52 ERA and just over 60 innings pitched, 24 earned runs allowed, 21 walks, and 53 strikeouts. So certainly his first start of the season for the Sanford Mainers on the mound. He started every game in the outfield, 1 at left, and then the past 4 in right field. But a former North Shore Navigator, used to Cardinals Field, used to the NECBL, and certainly off to a hot start as he is also Sanford's leading hitter with an 8-for-20, 400 average.
For the Newport Gulls, Derek Legg gets to start at cleanup again, his second baseman. He has been playing at short, but it's been a big shakeup in the lineup tonight for the Newport Gulls with 3 new players added to the roster offensively for today's game. Batting second is Braden Kelleher. He moves to center field. Kevin Caranto goes out to right field. Bats third. Bryce Nugent will be the designated hitter spot batting cleanup. Batting fifth, Kenny DeKroger joins the team as a shortstop. Another new player is Dan Gamache. He starts off in the 6th spot at third base. First baseman and the 3rd new player in the lineup tonight, Matt Blow, bats 7th. Julian Seidenfeld bats 8th and starts in left field. And Chris Forston, the catcher, bats 9th, round things out for the Newport Gulls. Umpires for tonight's game, Steve Koneski calling balls and strikes behind the plate. And John Leeds is the field umpire. Game time temperature at 61 degrees under partly cloudy skies here, and actually mostly sunny now as much of the clouds have dissipated. A southwest wind blows at 5 to 10 miles per hour across the diamond. Shouldn't affect play too much here tonight. First pitch is next on the ACBL Broadcast Network. Back here now at Cardinals Field, Newport, Rhode Island. Nick Lima joined by Dan Atchison on the ACBL Broadcast Network as we get set for baseball. We're starting likely a few minutes early here tonight. It's a 6:35 scheduled first start. It's about 6:29 here right now. And Corey Nelson just about all warmed up for the Newport Gulls as Newport Gulls manager Mike Coombs and Sanford Mainers manager Aaron Izeric go over the ground rules with the umpires for tonight's game, John Leeds and Steve Koneski. We're on a sunny skies here after a very cloudy day here in southern New England. Oh, was it cloudy up in Maine this morning?
Yeah, threat of rain up there in Sanford this morning. It moved out, as did most of the bad weather last night. So certainly some playable atmosphere here, and it's good to have it. The Sanford Mainers have been delayed twice in 2 games, and then they had one rain out on Sunday, which was made up last night. So the rain that played a huge factor in last year's season has to get out of here for a clean start to this year's season.
Corey Nelson, an ERA of 5.15, was 2-6 in 12 starts, including a complete game, 13 appearances overall for the Lemoyne Dolphins as a junior this spring. The Monlius, New York native will toe the rubber and face off against Brett Mollenhauer, who bats from the left side, to start things off in this ball game. All right, we're ready to go. Mollenhauer at 250, 4 for 16. Looking for his first RBI, and leads the team with 4 walks. He bats on the left side against the southpaw Nelson. His first pitch of the ball game. His fastball inside for ball 1.
In the first meeting between these two teams, Mollenhauer went 2 for 3, including a single off the starter, Corey Nelson. He was also hit by a pitch and scored 1 run.
The 1-0 pitch, high and away for ball 2. Nelson went 6 innings in that contest, going to get the no decision, as they were locked in a 2-2 tie until the 11th inning, when it was a leadoff triple by Joe Wendell in the 11th. He then go on to score the winning run on an RBI single later in the inning. Mollenhauer steps back in, the count 2-1 as he fouls one off. Nelson gets the sign from his catcher, Chris Forston. The 2-1 pitch, he squares for a bunt, pulls the bat away, and takes it inside for ball 3. Mollenhauer, Mara, and McCann due up here in the first inning. Outfield playing a little bit deep. Infield getting used to Cardines Field. 3 of the 4 infielders have never played here before. The 3-1 pitch is popped up. Should be playable left side. Backpedaling is Kennedy Kroger. He's called off by the left fielder Sonnenfeld. Makes the catch for out number 1. Set the defense for you. Matt Blow is the first baseman. Derek Legg gets his first start at second after playing short for much of the season. Kenny DeKroger at shortstop. Dan Gamache, the third baseman, though, he has had some experience here at Cardines Field, we're told. Chris Forston, the catcher. Outfield from left to right, Julian Sonnenfeld, Brendan Kelleher, and Kevin Caranto. Here's 2-time Sanford Mainer Matt Mara, coming in just 118, though, 2 for 17 on the season, takes the first pitch strike. Mara, no homers, 3 RBI.
Facing his teammate Corey Nelson for the second time this season, both Lemoyne Dolphins.
The 0-1. Low and away, ball 1.
Mara's had a tough start to the season, that 2 for 17. Certainly hasn't been helped out by the umpires at all.
Pitch. That's on the inside corner, called strike. The count even at 1-2. Mara, this season, against his Dolphin teammate, Nelson, is 1 for 2 with a walk and a 2-run single. Pitch, swing and a miss. He struck him out. So Mara goes down swinging. And 2 down here in the first for Mike McCann. McCann at 250, 5 for 20 on the young season. No homers, 3 RBI, double, a triple.
McCann went 1 for 5 in that 4-1 victory last night at North Shore, the 4th in a row for the Sanford Mainers.
Bats on the left side, takes the first pitch, low and away, ball 1. It was McCann who had that triple to lead off the 11th inning. Would eventually score the winning run in the ball game on Saturday night in Sanford. These 2 teams will meet 4 more times after tonight this season. As the 1-0 pitch is inside, ball 2.
Hit him.
That's just grazed McCann, who will take his base at first base. Did you see where it hit him?
Hit him off the hand, I believe. Off the right hand, which would be the bottom hand to the left-handed batter. Maybe the funny bone even, as he's shaking it out down there, down the first baseline. But a base runner here with 2 down for the Sanford Mainers.
It's the 3rd batter that Nelson has hit this season, all of them Mainers. Here's Jim Schultz, who's wearing the long yellow sleeves tonight. Expecting some cool temperatures later. Could dip into the 50s.
He wore them last night at North Shore, went 4 for 5.
Pitch is low and inside, ball 1. Schultz will be the starting pitcher for tonight's game as well. You don't see that too often here in the NECBL.
Certainly not, but when you have a hot hitter, the leading hitter for the Sanford Mainers, he's hitting 8 for 20. He's certainly going to be in the lineup hitting for himself, trying to help himself out early in this one.
1-0 pitch, fastball on the outside corner for strike 1. Schultz at 400, 1 homer, 4 RBI, leads the team with 8 hits.
currently in a 5-game hit streak as well.
1-1 the count as Nelson comes to the stretch, checks the runner McCann at first and deals. The runner goes, taken inside, a throw down the second, a little wide, not in time, stolen base from Mike McCann, his second of the season.
Nice job by McCann. The good jump on the left. He picked a good pitch to go on the off-speed delivery from Nelson, as he had it clean. Good throw may have gotten McCann, but certainly in there safe. And a runner in scoring position for the Sanford Mainers here in the first inning.
So 2 down. And the count, 2 balls and a strike. Nelson goes to work and fires. Swung on, hit in the air to right field. Going back is Kevin Caranto. He has the beat on it, reaches up, makes the catch, and right for the out there, he tires aside. The Sanford Mainers stranded runner, and we've through half an inning here at Cardines Field. Sanford Mainers nothing. Newport Gulls coming up on the NECBL Broadcast Network. The last of the first we go here at Cardines Field. No score yet in this one as the Newport Gulls get their first look here in the 2010 season at Jim Schultz pitching. Of course, they did see a little bit of Schultz last season when he was a North Shore Navigator. And Schultz, a right-hander out of Eastern Connecticut State University, on a 3.52 ERA, 5-1 this spring, and 11 appearances, 10 starts for the Warriors, with 61 in the third inning. 24 earned runs, 59 hits, 53 strikeouts, to just 21 walks. Excellent season pitching for Schultz, who also hit .377 with 6 homers and 45 runs batted in. So he really is a very talented player.
Certainly is, as he made the first team all-conference offensively and second team all-conference pitching. He features 4 pitches, a 2-seam fastball, slider, changeup, and a splitter that he throws like a knuckleball, but nobody believes him if he tells him it's a knuckleball, so he calls it a splitter. It's for his 4th pitch.
Take 10 seconds for station identification here on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
NCTV 18 Newport County, the World Wide Web, and on DVD. This is Newport Gulls Baseball on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
Well, we have a moment. Just a reminder that this copyrighted telecast is the exclusive property of the Newport Gulls Baseball Club and the New England Collegiate Baseball League, presented by the authority of the NECBL Broadcast Network for the entertainment of our listening and viewing audience. It may not be reproduced, re-recorded, or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game cannot be disseminated without the express written permission of the Newport Gulls and the Commissioner's Office of the New England Collegiate Baseball League. Derek Legg, Brendan Kelleher, Kevin Caranto. Potent offensive attack here, the top of the order for the Newport Gulls. They face Jim Schultz here in the last of the first. Newport has been very hot with the bat the last few games. As Legg pinwheels the bat from the left side, Schultz, first pitch of his outing, is up and away, ball 1.
Schultz fastball tops out about 88 miles per hour, slider in the mid-70s, changeup low 70s, so quite a bit of difference between the fastball and off-speed pitches for the righty.
The pitch is a fastball in the inside corner, taken for a strike. Legg at .389, he's 7 for 18, no homers, 4 RBI. Leads the Gulls with 6 runs scored. Schultz takes his time as he gets the sign from his catcher, Tyler DePrado. The 1-1 pitch is outside, ball 2. This spring for Long Beach State University as a sophomore. Legg hit .228, no homers and 9 runs batted in. Pitch is on the outside corner, taken for a strike. And he's had a very good start here offensively with the Newport Gulls. Mentioned earlier, he moved to second base tonight. They were playing shortstop for the first 4 games he played in this season. 2-2. A little bit low and outside, ball 3. The count's worked full. Be interesting to see how the new Newport Gulls infield alignment works. Newport's infielders have only committed a pair of errors through the first 5 games of the season. But 3 new infielders tonight. We'll see how they do in their first few chances defensively as DeKroger, Gamache, Blow, and Legg work together for the first time.
Jim Schultz pitching to his conference rival, Tyler DePrado from Keene State.
3-2 pitch, foul to the screen. Brendan Kelleher to follow. The league leaders in offense right now with a homer and 10 RBI. As Legg steps in, the crowd still filling in here at Cardines Field. Maybe about 1,200 strong right now. Pitch, up and away, ball 4. He walked him. So Legg, the first base runner of the game for the Newport Gulls. For Kelleher, who's batting .522, he's 12 for 23. Was 4 for 5 here at Cardines Field with 5 RBI on Monday night. And then on Wednesday, went 1 for 2 with 2 RBI and a walk. That 5-inning rain-shortened loss for the Newport Gulls. Newport 2-1 at home this season, 17-3 at home in 2009. Kelleher, driven in 10, has 3 doubles to lead the Gulls as well. Bats with the runner at first, the pitch. Taken in there for strike 1.
Talking to Schultz before the game, he said the key to Cardines is you got to keep everything low, give your defense a chance to handle a ball put in play.
28-foot-high fences surround this ballpark from foul line to foul line. The 0-1. Breaking ball is outside.
The defense behind Schultz, Mike McCann, Bobby Doyen, Greg Miller left to right, Nat Mara, Brett Mullenhauer, Joey Wendell, and Doug Elliott third to first. Tyler DePrado catching the righty. 12 errors on the season in the 5 games for Sanford. Had their first error-free game last night.
1-1 pitch, ground ball, hooking foul, third base side, as he was jammed on a ball that came inside. Kelleher down 1-2. Very rarely does Brendan swing at the first pitch. So very patient at the plate. Will often work in the count very deep. We saw his power here on Monday night when he launched a 3-run homer over the right field fence. So far, the Gulls' only home run of the season. Check of the run at first, and Legg dives in safely. No score, we're just underway here in the first inning. Newport, no one out. A runner at first, as Jim Schultz gets the sign from his catcher, Tyler DePrado. Comes set high at the letters. The pitch. Check swing is taken low. For ball 2.
Schultz very deliberate with his motion, trying to get the first out of this one. First one's always the toughest, they say.
Certainly was on Wednesday night here for David Palms, who had the first 6 reach from Lowell, all on hits. 2-2. Swung on and hit in the air to right center field. Going back to Bobby Doyen, looking up at the wall. It's high off the wall on a bounce. Stopping at third is Derek Legg. And into second with a stand-up double is Brendan Kelleher. Another hit for Brendan.
Well, when you're hot, and you're seeing the ball like it's a beach ball coming at you. He took that one to right center field off the 310 sign out there for a double. A nice job base running by Derek Legg, who made it to third. Not sure if that ball was going to be caught. Read it correctly and hopped and hustled over to third base.
So a wall ball double for Brendan Kelleher puts 2 runners in scoring position. Still no one out. Jim Schultz will have to work out of a big jam here in the first as he has a word with his catcher, DePrado. Here's Kevin Caranto. He's not hitting .522. He is hitting .353, 6 for 17, no homers, 2 RBI, 2 doubles. Perhaps more importantly, leads the team and among the league leaders right now with 7 walks.
Massachusetts.
He had 32 for the Siena Saints as a junior this spring. Also hit .413 there, the pitch. Foul to the screen, strike 1. This may be one of the most potent Newport Gulls offensive lineups on paper that I have ever seen here. They certainly have a lot of potential, a lot of experience too, a lot of juniors in this squad. This Newport always an offensive powerhouse as the pitch is inside, ball 1. Some of the numbers that these players have put up as sophomores and juniors this spring were very, very impressive. Runners lead at second and third. Third baseman Mara is in on the infield grass. A 1-1 pitch. Ground ball right side. That's going to get through for a base hit. He'll score 1 run. Being stopped at third is Kelleher. It's an RBI single for Kevin Caranto. The Newport Gulls lead it 1-0.
Schultz having a lot of trouble here trying to get picked up by his first baseman, Elliott. As he goes over, has a word of encouragement, yet to record it out. He needs one big time here for the Sanford Mainers.
Number 27.
RBI number 3 of the season for Caranto. Here comes another hot hitter for the Newport Gulls, and Bryce Nugent. Nugent is 8 for 20, batting .400. No homers, 3 RBI, 2 doubles. Second on the team with 8 hits. With runners at the corners, you'll look out on Jim Schultz. Comes to the set and deals. Fastball off the knees for strike 1.
First pitch strike, so important in any baseball game to establish the zone, and Schultz did it to Nugent there.
Schultz trying to work out of a huge jam here in the first inning. The pitch is on the outside corner. Taking for strike 2, he's ahead of Nugent. Bryce is a tough man to strike out. He's only fanned once this season in his 20 at-bats. He's a redshirt junior for Maris this spring. He hit .325, 4 homers, 48 runs knocked in. From the set, Schultz, the 0-2 pitch. Low and away, ball 1. Just missed the outside corner.
Sanford Mainers pitching staff comes in ranked second in the NECBL with a 1.96 ERA. Only 10, now 11 earned runs allowed and 43 strikeouts.
Schultz from the stretch. The 1-2 pitch, breaking ball, just misses low and away. Steve Koneski, the home plate umpire tonight, and the veteran John Leeds around the bases. Kenny DeKroger to follow, 2-2 the count on Nugent with runners at first and third and still no one out. The pitch, that's high, ball 3. For the second time this inning, he's worked the count full on a batter. Only brought leg to a 3-2 pitch and walked him to lead things off. He would eventually come around to score. Kelleher leads at third. Caranto with a single at first. The 3-2 pitch fouled off the screen. A late defensive swing that time from Nugent, who's in the DH spot tonight. The Gulls' second catcher, or first catcher, depending on how you want to look at it. Really, Nugent and Chris Forston have been splitting time, about 50-50 in that job, between catching and DHing. Payoff pitch, inside, ball 4, and the bases are loaded. So Schultz off to a little bit of a rough start here in the first inning. Doesn't want it to get any rougher as Kenny DeKroger will make his Newport Gull debut here offensively. DeKroger
He's from Stanford University.
batted .351, 5 homers, 39 runs batted in, 11 doubles, and a triple for the Stanford University Cardinals as a freshman. He's had 12 walks, 42 runs scored, 73 hits. He started 52 of the 53 games he played. His first season for Stanford.
Not a bad debut out there in his first year.
He has a huge opportunity right now in his Gulls debut. Newport leads 1-0, nobody out, and bases full of Gulls. Schultz from the stretch. The pitch. Foul tip to the backstop for strike 1.
Schultz trying to get a grounder here. Sure, the Sanford Mainers would trade 2 outs for a run. They do play in at the corners, back up the middle, and double play depth. They've turned 1 in the 5 games.
Out of hitting room in left center field. The pitch. Line drive, right field, base hit. It'll score at least 1 run. Rounding third is Kelleher. He scores. Stopping at third base is Caranto. It's an RBI single for Kenny DeKroger. Everyone moves up for spot. Newport leads 2-0 and still no one out.
The first 5 have reached for the Newport Gulls, and Jim Schultz still in a world of hurt. Bases loaded, nobody out.
The third baseman, number
It
10.
was hit very high off the ground through the right side, but it was a rocket off the bat of DeKroger. He's batting 1,000 on the season for Dan Gamache, making his debut here. Gamache, a native of Rhode Island, had a .387 for Auburn University. The pitch. Low for ball 1. Dan had 7 homers, 34 RBI, 14 doubles, and a triple. Started 47 of the 52 games he played, had 65 hits as a sophomore. Also walked 23 times. The 1-0 pitch. It's up and away, ball 2. Schultz had a little bit of trouble finding the strike zone here. He's trying to pitch around some of these hitters, and when he's getting the strikes across, they're tapping him for base hits. 2 walks in the inning to go with 2 singles and a double. Pitch. Ground ball to the right side. This could be 2. Up within Wendell. Goes to second. Out there on a first. Not in time. A run scores. Crossing the plate is Kevin Caranto. Newport Gulls lead 3-0 on the RBI ground out. Actually, RBI fielder's choice by Dan Gamache goes 4-6.
So there's the first out. We'll see how Schultz responds now, as he has to continue to pitch to some big hitters here. Matt Blow, another tall lefty in the lineup for Mike Coombs.
As our first look at Matt Blow as well. We hit 250, 4 homers, 19 RBI for the Hokies of Virginia Tech University. Takes the first pitch inside for ball 1. Matt, a junior. Bats with runners at the corners, just 1 out. Pitch, low for ball 2. So an RBI each for DeKruger and Gamache in their Gull debuts offensively. Jim Schultz trying to stop the bleeding here in the first. 2-0 pitch. Slider on the outside corner for strike 1. Matt Blow, 15 runs, 23 hits, 11 walks. Started 23 games, appeared in 43 as a junior for Virginia Tech. Check on the runner at first. Gamache is back standing. Bryce Nugent in the lead at third. Here's the pitch. It's taken low. Ball 3, a hitter's count for Matt Blow. Second base is open. Julian Sonnenfeld bats next. Sonnenfeld batting .417. Slightly less playing time than his teammates. 3-1. Swung on and missed. Took a big cut. The ball outside. The count is 3-2.
Schultz with his third 3-2 count already in the first 7 batters. Certainly needs another out here.
Nugent from third. Gamache from first. 3-0 Gulls. Still just 1 out. He goes and checks on Dan Gamache, who was 7 for 9 in stolen bases for the Tigers of Auburn. Now he's ready. The 3-2 pitch. The runner goes. Taken outside. Ball 4. Gamache was off running. Blow picks up his first on-base appearance of the season. They'll load it up again, this time with 1 out for Sonnenfeld. Well, Sonnenfeld is batting .417, 5 for 12. He has 3 RBI, 2 doubles. Also 4 walks. Limited plate appearances. His .588 on-base percentage leads the Newport Gulls. Batting .417. That's actually off the pace, believe it or not, for Julian. He hit .418 for Wesleyan University. The pitch. Outside corner called strike. 8 homers, 49 RBI. Just 12 strikeouts to 33 walks for Sonnenfeld. He's very patient at the plate. Pitch is inside, low, ball 1.
Schultz really needs to find the zone and get a ground ball for a possible double play. At least cut that run down at the plate. Mainers can't suffer to go down 4 as their offense has been dismal to start this season.
Pitch outside, ball 2. Chris Forston waits on deck. Newport has sent 8 to the plate so far here in the first inning. 3 have scored. The bases loaded. They are looking for more. Nugent at third. It's one of the 3 walks issued in the inning by Schultz. All of them on 3-2 pitches. Gamache at second, Blow at first. The pitch misses. Ball 3. A hitter's count for Sonnenfeld.
And certainly no place to put him if you are Jim Schultz.
Shadows pre-pass home plate. The 3-1 pitch. There's a strike called in the outside corner. Just clipped the outside part of the plate. And once again, the count worked full. The 4th time this inning on a batter.
Stephen Koneski's strike zone seems a little bit oblong here. He's not given the low call right over the plate, but low and outside seems to be just fine for these pitchers.
Schultz wipes some sweat from his brow and looks in for the sign. Bases still loaded here. The 3-2 pitch. Ground ball up the middle. It's going to be diving stop by the shortstop. Throws a second for the out. A run scores. Newport leads 4-0. It'll be another RBI fielder's choice. Great play by Brett Mollenhauer to dive and snag that ball behind the second base bag. And from the ground, he threw to Joey Wendo for the force out at second.
The catcher, number 9, Chris Forston.
It's RBI number 4 of the season
William and Mary University
for Sonnenfeld.
Warrenton, Virginia.
Runners at the corners now as Nugent scored. 4-0 Gulls. The pitch swung on and hit in the air to deep right, but he pulled it well foul and out of play. Chris Forston has struggled at the plate to start the season. He's just 1 for 19, hitting .053, though he is tied for second on the team with 4 walks. Pitch is inside, ball 1. His average will likely improve. He hit .289 for William and Mary with 3 homers and 52 runs batted in as a sophomore. Runners lead first and third with 2 down. A 1-1 pitch. Fastball sinks low and away. Ball 2. Well, Schultz hasn't been missing by much when he has missed. Pitch. Check swing. Did it go? No, says John Leeds. Well, it looked like from here he may have crossed the plate. We're almost directly behind the batters and the catcher here, a little bit to the right of them. So 2-1. Rather, it was a 3-1. It's blown away, ball 4. The 4th walk of the inning. And the Newport Gulls have batted around here in the 1st. Bases loaded again.
Certainly not a good start as Coach Ron Isler goes down, running towards the bullpen for Sanford to see who will get loose. I believe it was Ben Burmeister first up in the bullpen tonight for Coach Izeric. So we'll see who they go to start warming if Jim Schultz has any more trouble getting out of this first inning.
Newport a 4-0 lead with 2 outs here in the 1st. The bases are loaded yet again. We'll circle back around to the top of the order, and Derek Legg, who began the inning with a walk. The pitch. Fastball outside, ball 1. The Gulls Irish Army. You remember them from last year?
Oh, yes. They traveled up to Sanford last year for the playoffs, I believe.
I don't know if they made many friends, though. The pitch. It's low and away, ball 2.
Maybe met some of Sanford's finest up there. The police department may have been called in for that game. I'm not sure.
They are very loud, certainly. Every game is a soccer match to them. The 2-0 pitch. That's in there for a strike, 2-1, though. Some of the leaders they've called themselves the Irish Army this year. Of course, we always used to call them the Gulls Irish fans. This is their 4th year now in Newport. They came here from Ireland every year to work. The 2-1, swung on and missed, strike 2. Worked as caddies at the local golf courses. And the Newport Gulls have become their favorite summer pastime, and they've loved it so much they fell in love with America, and several of them, including Killian Nolan and Cullen McDonald, the leaders, are now getting their citizenship. They came here to live in the off-season. 2-2, swung on, popped up, third base side, but well foul and out of play on America's Cup Avenue.
Credit the Newport Gulls with a couple of new United States citizens.
Killian Cullen and some others came here over the winter and living here permanently now. have their green cards and working their way towards citizenship. The 2-2 pitch. Up and away, ball 3. The count is full. So with 2 outs, see one of the most exciting plays in baseball here.
That's right. The wheel play.
Runners go. The 3-2 pitch. Ball 4. Walked in a run. Walk number 5 of the inning. The second walk of the inning for Derek Legg. As Legg picks up his 5th RBI of the season.
Not bad start for Derek Legg. He has yet to record an at-bat, has a run scored, an RBI.
That's 6 walks now for Legg on the season.
The center fielder,
Jim Schultz really struggling
6,
here tonight.
Brendan Kelleher.
Named All Conference Little East, first team as an outfielder, second team as a pitcher this spring. Here's Brendan Kelleher, the pitch. Swung on and popped up. This could end the inning. No, it won't. It's going to drift foul and out of play about 6 rows up. Well, many ballparks around the league, that is the end of the inning, but this being a hitter's ballpark, Cardines Field, only about 15 to 20 feet of foul territory. We're up that third base line, and the inning goes on. 0-1 the count on Kelleher, who doubled off the wall in this inning. The pitch. Breaking ball is in there for a strike. 0-2. 5-0 Newport leads. Is Schultz. Tries to stop the bleeding here. Regain his command. The 0-2 pitch. Foul tipped into the mid, held on by DePrado for the out that retires their side. So the Newport Gulls send 11 to the plate. 5 of them score. They leave them loaded here in the first inning on 3 hits. And after 1 full from Cardines Field, Newport Gulls 5, Sanford Mainers 0 on the NECBL Broadcast Network. So a 5-run lead for Corey Nelson to work with as we head to the second inning. 5, 6, and 7 due up for the Mainers, and Wendell, Elliott, and DePrado.
Jim Schultz throwing 54 pitches in that first inning. 29 for balls, 26 for strikes, 25 for strikes.
Leading off the second
Well,
inning
the
for
crowd
the
has
Sanford
really filtered in
Mainers.
here on free hat
Second
night
baseman,
at Cardines Field. The
number
first
6,
250
Joe
fans received
Wendell.
Newport
He's
Gulls
from
black and
Westchester
blue hats with the blue
University
brims,
and resides in Lincoln
sponsored by the
University,
Brick Alley
Pennsylvania.
Pub. Wendell takes the first pitch strike on the outside corner. Joey batted .278. He's 5 for 18 with a homer and 5 RBI. Leaves the team with 5 runs scored. Takes a pitch outside, ball 1.
4 of those 5 RBI coming on off a grand slam that capped off a 10-run 6th inning for Sanford against Laconia.
1-1 from the lefty is low and away, ball 2. Nelson features a fastball, curveball, changeup. As a junior for Lemoyne, it's 2 and 6. That one,
Rings Wendell off the helmet.
another hit batsman. That's 4 on the season for Nelson against the Mainers. 2 in the ball game. Watch the replay, hit right off the batter's helmet. As he tried to duck out of the way and hit the helmet so hard that it carried him all the way up the third base line, and Aaron Isaac to go
Number 8, Doug Elliott.
have a word here with
He's from the
Wendell,
University of
make sure he's
Connecticut,
okay. The Gulls trainer Norm Provost out there as well.
Rocky
He's standing
Hill,
at first base.
Connecticut.
Like he just may have been a little bit phased by the ball. He has his helmet off. Home plate umpire Steve Konecki goes down there to check on him as well. Now he puts the helmet back on. Seems to be just fine.
Got a smile on his face.
Always dangerous when you see a pitch like that hit off a helmet. That is why they wear them.
Wendell 18 for 21 in stolen base attempts for the Westchester Golden Rams so far this season. Wendell, a perfect 1 for 1.
There's Doug Elliott, the two-time Mainer. He's batting .222. He's 2 for 9. Pitch is low, ball 1. This is just his third game played of the season. Last year, he struggled at the plate, hit .159 for the Mainers with no homers and 8 RBI. There's 1 extra base hit. Wendell will lead at first. The 1-0 pitch is swung on, looped in the left field. That's going to drop in for a base hit. Gets over the head of Julian Sonnenfeld as he slid out there. Rounding second, heading into third is Wendell. It's going to go in the books as a single and an error. Charge to Sonnenfeld in left field as the Newport Gulls' first outfield error of the season. So a base hit for Elliott. Now with no one out.
The catcher, number 32.
The Mainers have 2 runners in scoring position.
DePrado is from Keene State University.
Tyler DePrado to bat now. He's hitting
Resides in
154, 2 for
Suffield,
13 with an
Connecticut.
RBI. Lefty-lefty matchup here as the infield comes into the corners. The pitch. Outside corner called strike.
So the Mainers in business here. Nobody out, 2 on. Trying to chip away at that 5-run lead that Newport was given in the bottom of the first inning.
Long look in for Nelson, who comes to the stretch. The 0-1 pitch. Fastball low and inside, blocked by Forston. Newport Gulls are trying to chip away at the low All-American 6-0 lead that they jumped out to in the first inning here on Wednesday night at Cardines. Well, they ran out of time. The game was shortened by rain after 5 innings. Just when the Gulls' offense was getting hot, they scored a pair in the 4th inning, another run in the 5th. The 1-1 swung on and popped up. Should be playable on the infield. Who wants it? Derek Legg. About 5 steps in front of the outfield grass. He makes the catch for out number 1.
Mainers not only need to take advantage of this 2-on and nobody out situation, now 1 out. They need to do it for this game, but also for their season. Having trouble moving runners in. Their season high came in the form of 11 runs against Laconia, but those were walked in. 4 came on a grand slam, so the next total was 4 last night. So having trouble scoring runs, Sanford Mainers having trouble hitting with runners on.
It's Greg Miller. The pitch is swung on and missed for strike 1. So I haven't seen any chances yet for the Newport Gulls infield to really work. A leg catching the pop-up to his second base position. He is a natural second baseman. He was playing out of his position at shortstop for the beginning of the season. The 0-1 fastball misses low. Count leaving at 1-1 on Greg Miller, who is 0 for 4. This is 3rd game played of the season. Now these new point streak stats, very flashy on the NECBL website with the live game statistics. The 1-1 comes inside for a strike, but a little bit lacking. You can see how many games the batter played, but not how many games the batter started. One-two. Curve just missed outside. The count even at 2-2. Bobby Doyen to follow.
Miller started a game at first base the other night, but had to be pulled after he seemed to pull a groin. Appears to be okay back in the lineup tonight.
The Irish Army starts the strikeout chant. The 2-2 pitch. Ground ball hit to the left side. Up with the third baseman Gamache. Goes across to first. In time, a run scores. There are 2 down now, but the Mainers are on the ball game. It's 5-1 Newport Gulls. 5-3 on the RBI ground out.
The center fielder.
Is Bobby Doyen, the number 9 man, who's batting 167, 3 for 18.
He's from Keene State University.
Does lead the team with 7
Dublin,
strikeouts.
New
He's
Hampshire.
knocked in 3 runs, has 1 double. A runner leads from second. The pitch from Nelson is low for ball 1. Well, we could have 2,500 fans or more here tonight. They filled up the grandstands all the way around. 1-0, taken high for ball 2. It's 825 here on Monday night, despite the pleasant temperatures. Nicest day of the week on Monday, but with school still in session, you won't see the big sellout crowds every night here in Newport until July. But on a Friday night, the kids can come. The 2-0 is low and inside. Ball 3.
Bobby Doyen, the Little East Player of the Year, hit .399 for the Keene State Owls, his first year in which he did not hit .400. Had 10 home runs.
Three 3-0 the count, the pitch. Outside, ball 4. Doyen had to wait for a moment to see if home plate umpire Steve Konecki was going to say anything. He didn't, so he hit on down to first base.
Just shows you the inconsistency in Konecki tonight. Many occasions that has been called a strike. So the hitter's even baffled by the pitching and the umpire early in this one.
So for the second time tonight, here's Brett Mollenhauer, who flied to left his last time. 2 on with 2 down. 1 run in for Sanford. They still trail the Newport Gulls 5-1. The pitch. Ground ball to the right side. Charging leg. Fields on 2 hops. Throws the first in time. Inning over. We're through an inning and a half here at Cardines Field. The Mainers get 1 back. It's Newport 5, Sanford 1 here on the ACBL Broadcast Network.
Number 15, Jim Schultz, becomes the designated hitter.
Back here at Cardines Field, to the last of the second we go. A new pitcher on the mound for the Sanford Mainers.
Number 24, Ben Burmeister, the right-hander out of the University of San Diego, freshman out of Boulder, Colorado, bats right, throws right, 6'2", 210 for the Toreros. He did not record a record 3.86 ERA in 2 appearances, 2 1/3 innings pitched, struck out 3, and so far for the Sanford Mainers has 2 innings pitched, allowed 1 hit, 1 walk, 1 strikeout, has a 0 ERA as he has faced only 8 batters on the season. Jim Schultz done on the mound, but will remain in the game to hit for Coach Isaac and the Sanford Mainers.
So Schultz on the hook in this one, down 5-1. However, he'll have a few opportunities to get his team back in the game, using his own bat as the DH. Caranto with the RBI single to start the Gulls scoring in the first inning. That's here from the left side. The pitch. Fastball, up and away, ball 1. Caranto, a wide stance in the batter's box. Bends his right knee and leans in. The 1-0 from Burmeister. It's taken high for ball 2. Out of the order here, 3, 4, and 5. Caranto, Nugent to Kroger. The 2-0 pitch coming from Ben Burmeister. Here it is. Taken up and away, ball 3. Well, Sanford Mainers, if they want a chance to come back in this one, really need to settle down pitching-wise. Give the offense an opportunity. Gulls have seen Burmeister before this season. Did pitch in that game on Saturday. So 3-0 is in there for a strike. Shadows just in front of the pitcher's mound now as the sun sets behind the bus station across the street at the third baseline. 3-1. Line drive to right center field. That's going to drop down for a base hit and go all the way to the wall. Grounding first is Caranto. He'll have to stop there as the ball's cut off by Doyen. It's a leadoff single for Kevin. He is 2 for 2.
The Sanford Mainers pitching staff still having trouble recording an out as the ball being hit very hard. 2 fielders' choice for 2 of the outs in the first inning, so the ball still put in play. But certainly a tough outing for Sanford pitching here. We'll see how Burmeister reacts working from the stretch now.
Very hard hit ball off the bat of Caranto. It was a laser. Bryce Nugent walked his last time. He's hitting .400, 8 for 20, the pitch. Swung on and hitting the air down the left field line. Going back is McCann, still going back at the wall. He can't get there. It bounces off the edge of the wall. Being held at third is Caranto. As the ball gets away, he's going to break for home and will score standing Newport leads 6-1. It's going to go in as a RBI double for Bryce Nugent. So Nugent picks up his 4th run batted into the season. Well, no error charge on the play, but just a defensive miscue there for the Mainers to throw in from the outfield.
Kenny DeCroga.
So Newport leads 6-1. This is Kenny DeCroger, who in his offensive debut at an RBI single in his last at bat. Newport sent 11 to the plate in the first. The pitch, ground ball, that's up the middle, through for a base hit. Being held at third is Caranto. Or rather, Nugent being held at third. DeCroger is 2 for 2. Continues to bat 1,000 on the season. The Sanford Mainers cannot seem to stop the bleeding. Here in the second.
Third baseman, number
This
10.
Gulls offense is off and rolling again. Between 2 games against Laconia and New Bedford on Sunday and Monday, the Gulls scored 23 runs. And were held to 4 here on Wednesday night. A 6-4 loss to Lowell. The pitch, breaking ball inside, ball 1. Though that was a 5-inning game, and many felt the Newport Gulls may have come back in that game if they had some more opportunities at the plate.
I think they're more than making up for it so far in this one.
So very well put together lineup, balance between right-handers and left-handers. Of course, the lineup was lefty-heavy last year. The 1-0, fastball on the outside corner for a strike. 1-1 on Dan Gamache, the RBI fielder's choice, his last time. DeCroger leads at first. Bryce Nugent with the RBI double at second. 1-1 the count. The pitch. Curve, right side, through for a base hit. He'll get another run home. Rounding second, heading for third is Kenny DeCroger. He's in there standing. And on at first is Dan Gamache with an RBI single, his first hit of the season. 4 straight hits off of Ben Burmeister. Greeted him hard here in the second inning. Newport leads 7-1.
Please report to the main gate.
So a former Newport Gull, the 2008-2009 team, Mike Melillo, is he in the ballpark tonight, visiting in the area. The catcher from Elon was just drafted. He's heading to the Milwaukee Brewers organization and starting his professional career in the next few weeks. Heading up to North Dakota, where Mike Coombs once played. He's also coached there. Pitch to blow is in there for a strike. Matt hitless this season, though he has yet to record an official plate appearance. He walked his last time. This is Newport debut. 5 players have been added to the roster since Newport's game on Wednesday. A checker on the runner first diving in safely is Dan Gamache, who swiped 7 bags for Auburn this spring. In addition to DeCroger, Gamache, and Blow, a couple pitchers have come in. The Gulls have released some of their temporary players. The 0-1 swung on and popped up into right field. Greg Miller trailing it to his left. He makes the catch. Tagging from third is DeCroger. The throw not in time. Newport leads 8-1. It's an RBI sacrifice fly for Matt Blow, who drives in his first run of the season. Well, he hit that one very hard, but it got under it as it drifted into right field.
So the Newport Gulls continue to hit off this Sanford Manor pitching, doing it all. Fielder's choices, sacrifice flies, singles, doubles, and walks. Only 1 strikeout recorded so far. Everything else has been put in play.
So runner at first base now. Just 1 out. Pitch. It's in there for a strike on Julian Sonnenfeld, who drove in a run with a fielder's choice in the first. Good play by Brett Mollenhauer at the time. Stretch out behind the second base bag to get the force out at second. The 0-1. It's in there for a strike, and he's in front of Julian Sonnenfeld. 0-2.
Maynard's second double play of the season would be nice right now to kill any more damage that the Gulls might do. Already 5 in the first, 3 here in the second.
0-2 the count. Burmeister sets and twirls, fires back to first base, not in time. Try to catch Dan Gamache sleeping. Gamache not very far off the bag, however. From the set, the 0-2 pitch. Swung on and popped up right side. Giving chase to second baseman, who almost collides with the outfielder Greg Miller, but Joey Wendell reaches up and makes the catch for out number 2.
Nice job by Joey Wendell, backpedaling for about the last 15, 20 feet and making that catch to his side, calling off Miller as there are 2 down here in the bottom of the second inning.
Here's Chris Forston.
The catcher,
Very superstitious.
number 9,
His walk-up song.
Chris Forston.
Walked his last time. And 5 walks in the inning for Newport. Received 5 in the ballgame. The pitch is a wild pitch, goes to the backstop. Advancing to second is Gamache. 1-0. Another runner in scoring position for Newport. Free hat night here at Cardines Field. 250 free hats dot the stands. So everyone wearing their Gulls attire here. And those stands are full. The sun is in Ben Burmeister's eyes as he toes the rubber from the third base side. Now steps off. Gets back on. Looks at the runner at second, Gamache. The 1-0 pitch. Check swing, he went around. 1-1 the count on Forston. So Chris has been issued 5 walks in the season. He is just 1 for 19 at the plate. The pitch. Swung on and missed. Fouled on a breaking ball. He's down 1-2.
Although Burmeister's given up 3 runs here in the inning, he's shown some promising stuff. That breaking ball moving nicely away from the right-handed hitters into the lefties, as Chris Forston was fooled on that one.
Burmeister has pitched exclusively against the Gulls so far this season. Checks the runner at second, fires a 1-2 pitch. A line drive into center field. To his right, Bobby Doyne makes the catch, inning over. But the Newport Gulls add 3 to their total. They lead it 8-1 over the Sanford Mainers after 2 full here at Cardines Field on the NCBL Broadcast Network. Newport leads 8-1. We go to the third inning here at Cardines Field. We'll pause and take 10 seconds for station identification here on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
NCTV 18 Newport County, the World Wide Web, and on DVD, Newport Gulls Baseball celebrating 10 years on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
So Corey Nelson has an even bigger lead to work with here in the third, as he'll face off against
Leading off
the
third
2, 3,
inning
and
for
4
the
hitters in
Sanford
the Mainers
Mainers.
lineup for the second time
The
tonight.
third baseman,
Matt Mara
number
struck out
7, Matt
his
Mara.
last time. Mara from the right side takes the first pitch from his college teammate inside for ball 1.
See what Matt Marr can get a little bit of revenge after he went down swinging on a nice pitch over the outside corner from Nelson his first time up.
1-0. There's a looper over the leaping shortstop to Kroger in the left field, the base hit. So Mara now 2 for 4 against his Dolphin teammate here in the NECBL. So he has been struggling at the plate somewhat, 2 for 18, now
The left
3 for
fielder,
19. He did hit
number
300
14,
last year with
Mike
18 RBI
McCann.
for the Mainers. Mike McCann was hit by a pitch, a 2-0 count in the first. Later stole a base but was stranded. Pitch inside ball 1. Second time tonight, the Mariners had their leadoff man on.
You know, there could be some hope for the Mariners. This will be the 4th time or 5th time some of these hitters have seen Nelson. So possibly they could get to him with a little rally here in the 3rd.
Check on the runner at first. Diving in on a head first slide is Mara safely. So already 3 for 5 on stolen bases this year. Went 15 for 19 last season in a Mainer uniform. Nelson comes set and deals. Ground ball hit to the right side. That will get through for a base hit. No one covering at first base as Nelson was slow getting off the mound. That'll be an infield single from Mike McCann. Sounded like he cracked his bat and just got the little piece of it as it rolled softly to the right side.
That 34-inch-old Hickory will have to be retired for McCann, or exchanged, I should say, for a new twig next time up.
Number 15, Jim Schultz.
So 2 on, no one out for Jim Schultz. Maina's offense tries to come alive here in the 3rd.
Put on a show in batting practice, peppered that left field wall, including that tree out in left. He took a couple leaves off it with a couple of home runs in batting practice, did Jim Schultz.
The pitch. Outside ball 1. And that tree in left field, the only spot around the ballpark where the fence is less than 28 feet high. A large section of the fence was left out to allow room for the tree to grow, so it's only about, 18 feet there. This one's popped up, back over our heads, lands behind us on America's Cup Avenue.
Now the ground rule is, some of it does hang over the fence out there. What is that?
If it does hit the tree, it is a home run. The fences there used to be only that high. They were raised about 8 feet after the 2006 season. This one's fouled down the right field line and out of play. That entire left field line from the foul pole right about until straightaway left field. Left center was raised another 10 feet, as was the entire right field line from the foul pole to about right center. The 1-2, high and away, missed with the fastball. The count will even up.
Schultz has a solo shot on the season, and coming against Lowell at Goodall Park. Also has a 5-game hit streak, and with that single, Mike McCann extended his 4-gamer up to 5.
2 balls, 2 strikes the count with 2 on and no one out yet here in the 3rd. Infield, shades to the right, pitch. Outside ball 3. Joe Wendell to follow. Schultz hitting 8 for 21 now in the season with his 4 RBI. Payoff pitch, inside ball 4, and the bases are loaded. Joey Wendell was hit by a pitch to start off the 2nd. 2 hits batsmen on the night for the Mariners, the other one McCann. So Mara at 3rd, McCann at 2nd, Schultz at 1st. Nobody out. The infield will come in here. Wendell, batting .278, he's knocked in 5.
The second baseman, number 6.
Was hit in the head in his first plate appearance, came around to score on the RBI by Greg Miller.
A long look in for Corey Nelson. Worries about a Mainer on every base. The pitch, ground ball right side, fielded on 2 hops. Throw the second, out there, back to first. Double play, a run scores, but they get 2 big outs on a 3-6-3 double play.
A nice turn there at second base by the shortstop, DeKroger, as he fired it right back to first for a double play. 2 big outs, but still a runner on 3rd for Sanford.
So it's 8-2 Newport Gulls. No RBI for Wendell
Number 8.
as he bounces into a twin killing for Doug Elliott. Elliott, single, went to second on the error by left fielder Sonnenfeld his last time. Takes a first pitch strike. A runner at third. Pitch. Inside. 1-1. Not a big lead for Mike McCann over there. With the lefty on the mound. The pitch. Ground ball hit sharply to second. But Legg has it. Throws to first. In time. Inning over. Couple big ground ball outs here for this fresh Newport Gulls infield. Testing their skills here in the third. The Mainers get one back, but it could have been much more. The damage is limited. We're through 2.5 from Cardines Field. Newport 8 and Sanford 2 here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Newport 8, Sanford 2. Ben Burmeister out for a second inning of relief. We go to the third inning. Last of the third here in a packed house at Newport. Well, a few open seats around, though. Looks like just about a sellout here tonight. A lot of Friday night games this season for the Newport Gulls as they try to chase the attendance record that they crushed last season. That was in one less opening than the year before. 60,000 fans came through the gates here at Cardines Field between the regular season and the playoffs. It's not even including exhibitions. Newport plays every Friday night in June. First pitch swinging, it's popped up into shallow center field. And right there is Bobby Doyne to make the catch for the inning's first out. Derek Legg retired for the first time tonight.
I don't believe it. One pitch, one out for Sanford Mainers pitching here in this one.
And Burmeister hopes for more of the same here as he goes against a hot Newport Gulls order. Number 2 man, Brendan Kelleher. He was struck out to end the first inning. Newport sent 11 to the plate, but doubled also in that inning. The pitch. Curve breaks inside for ball 1. Kelleher picked up his 6th strikeout of the season. He only has 1 walk. The pitch. Well, the curveball's inside 2-0, but you can't really say anything negative about him when you're hitting 522 plus. He is now 13 for 25. Pitch. That's popped up in shallow left center. Now straightaway center field. It's a shortstop, Brett Mollenhauer, on the outfield grass, makes the catch. 2 away.
2 up, 2 down for the Sanford Mainers here as they gave up 5 runs on 3 hits and 5 walks in the first, and then 3 runs on 4 hits in the second. Certainly a Newport Gulls offense tuned up for this one.
Kevin Caranto is 2 for 2. Pair of runs scored and an RBI. It's 2 singles, a pitch. Inside as he hops out of the way. Ball 1. Gulls wrapping up what could be their longest homestand of the season. 5 days, 3 games, 2 off days. The 1-0 pitch is inside ball 2. They've had it fairly easy this week, though, against some tough competition against Eastern Division opponents Sanford tonight. Lowell on Wednesday, which they fell 6-4, though they beat up on Laconia 11-3 on Monday night. 2-0. Looper in the left field. That's going to drop in for a base hit, and Kevin Caranto is 3 for 3. 2 outs. The Gulls is going to have a base runner. It's time for Bryce Nugent, who's 1 for 1. Drove in a run with a wall ball double in the second. Walked in the first. Also scored. Twice, in fact. Nugent. Now 9 for 21. His average continues to climb. The pitch. Looper up the middle. The shortstop has it. Will take himself to the bag. Mollenhauer retires Caranto on the force. That retires the side. The Gulls strand a runner. They've left 5. And after 3 complete from Cardines Field, Newport 8, Sanford 2, as we continue on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Eight 3-2. Newport leads Sanford. We go to the 4th inning. And here at Cardanes Field, and take you with a play-by-play story for the next 3 innings, the voice of the Sanford Mainers, Dan Atchison.
Thank you very much, Nick, as the Sanford Mainers will send DePrado, Miller, and Doyen to the plate. If anybody should reach, Mullenhauer, the leadoff batter, will bat against Corey Nelson. Nelson has allowed 2 runs on 3 hits, and he has stranded 3 Sanford base runners. DePrado popped out to the second baseman leg his first time up. First pitch from the lefty to the lefty is a strike over the outside corner with the fastball. DePrado came into tonight hitting 154, now 2 for 14. 1 RBI, 0 for 4 in last night's game as the lights begin to come on here at Cardanes Field. The 0-1 taken low for ball 1. Beautiful night for baseball here in Newport, Rhode Island. A long bus trip down for the Mainers as the 1-1 is low and outside. 2-1 now to DePrado. Not the start they wanted to see after a nice 3.5-hour bus ride. The 5-run first by the Newport Gulls, putting the Mainers in quite a hole, trying to dig out of it. Now 8-2. This one's lifted into left field, but right there is the left fielder, Sonnenfeld, who makes the eye-high catch for out number 1.
All of the games in action around the league here tonight. Thankfully, the rain that has plagued the NACBL for much of the week has gone away, or at least for today. Holyoke Blue Sox lead the Mountaineers 7-0, bottom of the 3rd. Also in the bottom of the 3rd, Keene Swampats lead the Bristol Collegiate team 1-0. And Danbury over North Adams 1-0 in the top of the 3rd.
8-2 here as Greg Miller looking for his first base hit, and this one is lined in right field. It will be caught on a dive. A nice job by Caranto out in right field as he went into a headlong dive to reel in the liner for out number 2. So 2 loud outs here quickly in the top of the 4th inning.
Kevin Caranto has been playing first base all season, getting his first start in the outfield here tonight, showing off why he's a very good outfielder. Very versatile player is Caranto.
Siena College product going head to first to make that catch. Bobby Doyen now. First pitch he sees is rolled over to the shortstop. DeKroger waits, steps, fires low, dug out on the other side by the first baseman Blow, and the Mainers go in order. A 1-2-3 4th for Corey Nelson. We head to the bottom half. 8-2 Newport Gulls on the NACBL Broadcast Network. Back here for the bottom of the 4th inning. It will be Kenny DeKroger, Dan Gamache,
number 12, Kenny
and Matt Blow. DeKroger had an assist to end the inning for the Mainers. He takes first pitch fastball at the knees over the inside corner for strike 1. You know, I was listening to that in-between inning ad, Nick, and the All-Star game being held here in Newport, and if they're not careful, all starting 9 will be Newport Gulls. High chopper weighted on by Mullenhauer at short, fires to first for out number 1. The way this offense has got off to a hot start in 2010, might have quite the roster on their hands.
Well, Kenny DeKroger's average just dropped below 1,000, so he may not be appearing. Now batting .667 on the season.
The third baseman,
ground out. First time he's been
10,
retired.
Dan Gamache.
Dan Gamache out of Auburn, the third baseman. 1 for 2 with a run scored tonight. This one's lifted into left field on the line. McCann coming in now. Will play it on the hop, and it's a 1-out single for Gamache, who is now 2 for 3. Another .667 average to start the season.
Turning a look around the NACBL right now. One other game in progress. It is an Eastern Division game. As the entire NACBL West in action tonight. Laconia Muskrats lead the New Bedford Bay Sox 1-0. They go to the bottom of the 5th. We'll have a live look in on that game in between innings here.
Ben Burmeister works with a runner on first and 1 out to Matt Blow. First pitch is in there for a called strike. Blow walked and hit a sacrifice fly that scored DeKroger for the game's 8th run for the Newport Gulls. Tall lefty, first baseman, awaits the 0-1. Here it comes, big breaking ball. It stays outside for ball 1. The defensive set behind Burmeister goes McCann, Doyen, Miller, left to right. Third to first, Mara, Mullenhauer, Wendell, and Elliott. DePrado doing the catching tonight. Still waiting on Pat Cantwell out of Stony Brook to arrive. As Burmeister sets and delivers the 1-1 fastball away for ball 2. Still waiting on Michael Roth, the everyday first baseman, to arrive from South Carolina. And then 2 Vanderbilt kids, Anthony Gomez, who is one of the leading freshmen in the country, and Reagan Flaherty, who is a Portland, Maine native. Burmeister's 2-1 is not offered at, but catches the outside corner for strike 2. 2-2-2. Blow with 1 down here in the 4th inning.
It's amazing how Hat Night draws out a lot of fans, huh? They'll love free merchandise.
Free stuff. That hat is probably worth the price of admission itself, so certainly a good crowd always on hand at Cardines Field. Great atmosphere. Fan-friendly atmosphere as well, as Burmeister sets and delivers. 2-2 is taken wide for ball 3 now. Julian Sonnenfeld waits on deck. Mainers still have turned only the 1 double play this season. The infield does play a double play depth. Outfield plays blow to pull. Big hole in left center field for the first baseman. Burmeister sets. The runner goes. The payoff pitch. Swung on a miss for strike 3. No throw down by DePrado. But there are 2 down here in the 4th inning. The stolen base for Gamache is his first of the young season.
The left fielder, number 29, Julian Sonnenfeld.
So Burmeister picks up his first strikeout of the outing. The second on the night for Sanford Mainers pitching. Jim Schultz started this game. He went 1 inning, gave up 5 runs on 3 hits, 5 walks, and a strikeout. As Burmeister delivers. First pitch low and outside to Sonnenfeld, who came into tonight hitting .417, no home runs, 3 RBI. Picked up an RBI on a fielder's choice in the 1st inning. Burmeister takes a long look in, now sets, takes a peek at second, kicks and fires. Fastball that catches the outside corner for strike 1. Sanford Mainers still representing the Velcro back hats that have triggered the 4-game winning streak, although they may come to an end tonight. They did get the new shipment of hats in, but the players wanted to keep the winning streak alive and went with the Velcro backs. 8-2 Newport. Let's see how well that's working out tonight. Big breaking ball in there for strike 2. Fooled the hitter Sonnenfeld. A nice job by Burmeister.
Remember the snapback hats?
Oh, yeah.
I haven't seen one of those in years.
Yeah, those were
I think they discontinued them.
classic back in our youth.
Because the little tabs always break.
Oh, yeah. Always wanted the fitted hat when I was a kid. Burmeister delivers the 2-2. Catches the inside corner for strike 3. Sonnenfeld doesn't like it. Took Kineski a few seconds to call it, but it's his second strikeout of the inning and of the night. We head to the top of the 5th inning, 8-2, Newport Gulls on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Sanford Mainers to bat here in the top of the 5th inning. It will be the top 3, Mullenhauer, Mara, and McCann. Jim Schultz will bat 4th. Shall anybody reach? Mullenhauer 0 for 2 on the night. Flew out to left and grounded out to the second baseman his last time up. Mullenhauer out of Roanoke, Virginia, the Radford Highlander. Came into tonight hitting .250, 4 for 16 with 4 walks. He takes the first pitch ball from the pitcher Nelson, who has pitched in and out of trouble very effectively. Lefty from Lemoyne winds and delivers. Fastball over the inside corner. He just wears out those lefties on the inside corner. Very great command and control for Nelson.
Just 1 strikeout for Nelson, who's relied heavily on his fielders, so
The fourth inning is only 1-2-3 inning of the ball game.
The slider goes wide outside for ball 2. 2-1 now.
A real grinder so far.
He delivers. 2-1. Lined foul off the stands here at Cardines Field. Down the third baseline. Gets Coach Isaric out of the way. Played by the shortstop, DeKroger. But a harmless strike. Now 2-2 the count to the leadoff man, Mollenhauer. The 2-2 almost hits Mollenhauer, drops in and out of the zone, for ball 3. Catcher Chris Forston looking back at the home plate umpire Kineski, who's been pretty inconsistent, may have settled down a little bit with the strike zone here in the 5th. Lined into left field, into the bleachers down the foul line for a long strike. Mollenhauer making sure he didn't crack the bat on that one. He loves to go the other way. He just feeds them to left field. 3 of his 4 hits going the other way. Another payoff pitch from Nelson. Check swing, did he go? He did, says the first base umpire John Leeds. And that'll be strikeout number 2 for Nelson. 1 down here in the top of the 5th.
Well, Mollenhauer did check the swing. He didn't check his body as he twisted his entire body through the strike zone.
Number 7.
The bat never left his shoulder. He moved his whole body right through.
Goes down as a strikeout nonetheless. Here's Mara. He is one of the 2 runs scored for the Mainers. As he takes a ball outside, he singled and scored in the 3rd. He struck out swinging his first time up in the 1st. This one's foul tipped at the plate for strike 1. Nelson hit 111 on that last pitch according to the radar gun here at Cardines Field. Certainly not throwing that hard, or I'm sure he'd be pitching in the bigs. Here comes the delivery. Fastball catches the outside corner for strike 2. 1-2 now.
Maybe it wasn't 111, maybe it was .111.
Oh, there you go.
Well, those pitchers you can swing at 3 times.
Then you could hit it.
And Bugs Bunny.
Fastball stays high for ball 2. 2-2 now. To Matt Mara, the teammate of Corey Nelson at Lemoyne. Ball low, loads up the count. Second loaded count here in 2 at-bats for Mollenhauer and Mara, back-to-back hitters, working the count full against Nelson, who has worked effectively, although he has gotten into some trouble. Ground ball to the left side. DeKroger boots it, and that will go down as an error to the shortstop. An easy play. He seemed to wait on it. He didn't surround the ball. He wanted to play it on the backhand and throw off his back foot, but it never went in his glove, so that'll be an error for DeKroger, his first of the season.
The left fielder.
Now Mike McCann, the left fielder, who has been on base both times tonight. 1 for 1 with a hit by pitch and a single back in the 3rd. Hits with a runner on. And 1 down. Mainers trying to avoid their second double play of the night. Check on the runner at first. Back standing safely is Mara. McCann, the left fielder from Manhattan, the only Jasper in the Sanford Mainer roster, wearing the number 14. First pitch he sees is low for ball 1. McCann, a lefty, in the green uniform tops with the yellow numbers and letters and white trim for Sanford, with Sanford written across the front. Nelson keeping a close eye on his teammate Mara at first. Mara on base for the second time tonight. Last time he came around to score. We'll see if the same magic can happen here in the 5th inning for the Sanford Mainers. The pitch, it's lifted into right field. Back goes the center fielder, Kelleher, to make the catch in right center in front of Toronto for out number 2.
So Cardines Field has been undergoing some ongoing renovations here in the middle of the season. They've replaced a lot of the wooden planking that was rotting or breaking up along the first and third base lines and also along the dugout walls.
whole new back walls to the dugout, in fact. And they've repainted about 85% of the ballpark to this point. Slightly brighter shade of green. So the ballpark looks very new.
Nelson checks on the runner, Mara at first. He dives back in safe. Jim Schultz at the plate. He flew out to center his first time up and walked back in the third, where he was eliminated on the 3-6-3 double play. Beautifully turned by Blow and Kroger.
I was a little surprised to come into the press box and find some fresh green paint today.
Ball low in the dirt, as it is very fresh, very sticky here, including the bleachers behind the press table here at Cardines Field.
Well, my dry cleaner will not be happy with me.
Dan Atchison alongside Nick Lima from Cardines, as the Mainers bat with 2 outs in the inning. A line single to left off the bat of Jim Schultz, and now there are 2 on and 2 out. Up to second moves Matt Mara. Nice piece of hitting by Schultz, who started this game on the mound but only lasted 1 inning, giving up 5 of the Newport 8 runs.
It's the 4th hit of the ball game for the Mainers. So Newport has 9.
The second baseman,
Joey Wendell, who was hit in the
number
head
6,
in the
Joe
second inning, came around to score
Wendell.
on an RBI 5-3 put out off the bat of Greg Miller. Newport gladly trading it out for a run. Back in the second, they were up 5-0. Big breaking ball lands outside to Wendell for ball 1. Coming into tonight, hitting .278, now 5 for 19, a home run, 5 RBI. Went 1 for 4 last night against the Navigators with 2 runs scored at Frazier Field. This one is hit high in the air to right field. Back goes the right fielder, Caranto. He is up against the wall, and it goes off the wall. Misplayed it right by Caranto. 1 run will score. Schultz motoring home from first. He will score, and the Mainers put 2 more on the board and lead in trail now by 4, cutting that deficit in half as Caranto lost the ball in the high sky here. May have been lost in the sun that's peeking over the third baseline, but certainly misplayed. He didn't touch it. Should go down as a double for the second baseman, Wendell. And an error on the throw. No error on the throw, excuse me. And both of those runs will be RBIs for Joey Wendell now. 8-4. The Mainers cutting farther into that deficit.
I bring Jeff Walker, Gulls pitching coach, and the entire infield onto the mound for a conference. Nelson's get up a couple of hard hit balls here in the 5th inning. If that ball carried a little more, it certainly would have gone out. Had the height, just not the distance. Right in front of that outfield wall, it fell down.
So don't count the Mainers out yet.
No real sea breeze here tonight either. A southerly wind at just about 4 to 5 miles per hour. Isn't really factoring into play much here tonight. Many nights that ball would carry out with the wind blowing in off the water behind us.
So Joey Wendell retreats to second base, and the Newport infield goes back to their respective positions as Doug Elliott, who's hit the ball hard twice tonight, once for a single
8, Doug
and once
Elliott.
for a 4-3 put out, digs in from the right side. Big hole on the left side for him if he can pull one. Big hole on the right side. He wants to go the other way. 2 outs. First pitch is a fastball low to Elliott. Mollenhauer struck out to lead off the inning. Mara reached on an error. McCann flew out to center. Schultz singled, and Wendell doubled home the 2 runs. 8-4 Newport now. As this one is grounded right to the shortstop. He waits on a room service hop, steps and fires strong to first for the out. That retires the side. The Mainers get 2 back. They trail by 4 heading into the bottom of the 5th on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
Leading off the home
Back here for the home half of the 5th inning, the Newport Gulls holding a 8-4 advantage over the Sanford Mainers. Chris Forston, Derek Legg, and Brendan Kelleher, the 9-1-2 batters, will bat here against Ben Burmeister. The first pitch of the 5th is a ball low to Forston. The catcher now 1 for 20 with a walk and a line out to center his last time up. Fastball taken high. He held up on his swing. 2-0 now. Forston out of William and Mary. Righty awaits. Burmeister winds and delivers. Fastball high and tight for ball 3. 3 straight balls to start the bottom of the 5th inning. Newport Gulls put a 5 spot up on the board in the first, a 3 spot on the second, and that is where they stand offensively. Fastball catches the outside corner at the knees for strike 1. 3-1 now to the catcher. The Mainers got 1 back in the second, 1 back in the third, and 2 back in the 5th. Still trail 8-4 here. And what could be a classic Sanford-Newport game before we're done. Fastball high and tight for ball 4 and a leadoff walk for Forston. And the Newport Gulls have the leadoff man on for the 4th time today.
6 walk issue tonight to the Newport Gulls, but the first since the first inning. The Gulls are issued 5 free passes by Jim Schultz.
Leadoff walks, never a recipe for success if you're a pitcher. We'll see if Burmeister can get out of the inning without any harm done. Infield plays a double play depth in at the corners. Pinched up the middle, expecting the bunt from Derek Legg is Matt Maury. He continues to charge. He squares, gets it down the third base line. DePrado plays it on a hop. He'll go to second for 1. Snap throw not made by Mullenhauer, but a beautiful play by DePrado, picking that bunt up on the high hop right in front of the plate and firing down to the covering shortstop at second for the fielder's choice.
Goes 2-6.
The center fielder,
Unsuccessful bunt by Legg.
number 6, Brendan Kelleher.
Brendan Kelleher, the red hot Brendan Kelleher coming into tonight, was hitting .522, now 1 for 3 with a double and run scored, and Isaac is going to go out and talk to his freshman pitcher here.
Kelleher is officially the league leader in average right now at .522. He is also the league leader in RBIs with 10. Kalinkowski has 8. Laconia, the next closest.
6 of those coming on 2 separate 3-run home runs, both at Laconia. Burmeister, with the meeting of the minds over, will work to Kelleher. With a runner on first, working from the stretch, the runner goes. Fastball's taking it for a strike. Throw down is in time. A nice throw down by DePrado, and that is the first caught stealing for the Sanford Mainers, as DePrado shows his gun there down to the covering second baseman, and there are 2 down here with nobody on. A nice job by DePrado to gun down the runner Legg. 1 strike against Kelleher. Breaking ball line to the first baseman for the out. That retires the side. Doug Elliott reels it in about ankle high. And the Newport Gulls go quietly in order in the 5th inning. We head to the top of the 6th, 8-4 Newport on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
We have a pitching change for the Newport Gulls.
New pitcher for the Newport Gulls, number 24, Dexter Price.
Dexter.
And here to tell you more is Nick Lima.
Thank you very much, Dan.
Auburn University.
Dexter Price, right here out of Auburn University, just finished up his sophomore season there. Native of Colorado Springs, Colorado. 6'6", 220-pound big right-hander. Was drafted by the Milwaukee Brewers in 2008 in the 43rd round. Price making his Newport Gulls debut here tonight.
Only one of those runs charged to Nelson will be earned. So he goes 5 innings, give up 5 hits, 4 runs, 1 earned, 2 walks, 2 hit by pitches, and 2 strikeouts. And Dexter Price, the tall righty, will work to DePrado, Miller, and Doyen, the bottom third of this Sanford Manor order.
So Corey Nelson has earned a win. Gulls hanging on by a 4-run lead. They have to the bullpen now to preserve it.
Number 32,
Tyler DePrado 0 for 2 with a pop out and the line out here in this one. Price's first pitch is almost off the shoe tops of DePrado for ball one. Sounds like they're having quite the night up there in New Bedford. A lemon peasy night, if you will. As DePrado takes a called strike from Price, 1-1 the count. Price out of Auburn University, teammate of Dan Gamache, the third baseman. His 1-1 is low for ball two, 2-1 to the catcher DePrado. That radar gun was working during batting practice as Eric was throwing a consistent 47 to his hitters. As the 2-1 is low and inside, 3-1 now to the man known as Dip for his last name. DePrado, D-I-P-R-A-T-O, catcher out of Keene State, done a fine job. He takes the 3-1 inside for ball four. Leadoff walk went harmless for the Newport Gulls in the bottom of the fifth inning, but the Sanford Mainers looking to capitalize on one here as DePrado walks down to first base with nobody out, and Greg Miller coming to the plate.
Price for Auburn this spring, an ERA of 4.39, 3-0 in 5 starts. 26 and 2/3 innings, allowed 33 hits, 16 runs, 13 of them earned, walking 9, striking out 14. Opponents hit 311 off of Price.
Greg Miller digs in as the lights begin to take effect here at Cardines Field. Takes the first pitch fastball strike over the outside corner. No word on the attendance yet here at Cardines, but I'd say about 85% capacity. As the 0-1 is a breaking ball low, 1-1 now from Price. Miller out of Tulane, redshirted his freshman year. He got hurt in the fall in practice in an outfield throwing drill, separated his shoulder. Was retired on a beautiful diving catch by the right fielders last time up. Takes a fastball over the outer half to even up the count now, to make the count 1-2. DePrado, the catcher, leads from first. Price, the tall righty, looks in, gets the sign. The 1-2 inside for ball two. Miller getting out of the way. Crowd wanted that one called third strike. But the count evens up now at 2s. Here it comes. Big breaking ball, swung and a missed for strike 3. So Price walks the batter and strikes out Miller, and there's one down here in the 6th inning. Bobby Doyen,
the center fielder,
looking to get going here. Went 2 for
13,
4 last night.
Bobby
0 for 1
Doyen.
tonight. Now 3 for 19 on the season with 3 RBI. First pitch from Price is fouled at the plate. Doyen with a big hole on the left side. Infield playing a double play depth. Doyen awaits the 0-1 from Price. Here it comes. Check swing, did he go? They will appeal, he did not. Says John Leeds, the base umpire tonight. And the count runs even at 1-1. Price with a moderate pace here, delivers a fastball over the outer half for strike 2. 1-2 now. Last night we saw Shane Davis get the ball and fire it back as he worked 6 innings for the Sanford Mainers. Only threw 74 pitches, had 6 strikeouts in the victory. As Doyen lifts this one behind, now down the first baseline. The first baseman and catcher converge, and nobody makes the play. Matt Blow seemed to have called off the catcher, then got distracted by the catcher, forced it, and it falls harmly for a strike. Count remains at 1-2. Forston a little bit red in the face after he knew he altered the outcome of that play. Doyen with new life now. We'll see what he can do. Price sets. Takes a peek at first now, delivers. Breaking ball low and outside. The runner goes. A delayed steal by DePrado. And he's in there safe. will be in on the delayed steal, so he throws a runner out in the bottom of the 5th and steals a base here in the top of the 6th.
The throw in time on target from Chris Forston, but it popped out of the glove of Derek Legg.
First stolen base of the season in the first attempt for DePrado. Not sure if that was a delayed steal or more. He thought the ball would go by the catcher, but either way, it is recorded as a stolen base for DePrado. Here comes the 2-2 to Doyen. Low and outside, ball 3, so a full count here with 1 out and a runner in scoring position for the center fielder Doyen. Dan Atchison alongside Nick Lima here from Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island. An 8-4 ball game in favor of the hometown Gulls. The Mainers continue to chip away. Doyen awaits the payoff pitch. Fastball lifted high in the air to left field. This one is way back. Back is Sonnenfeld. This one will be off the wall. DePrado had to hold, and he will only reach third base. And that one will be a home run. That one is ruled a home run by the base umpire. The left fielder Sonnenfeld is confused. It was well struck. And Mike Coombs doesn't understand. It appeared to hit high off that wall in left field. Doyen, as of right now, has a 2-run home run, and the Mainers trail only by 2.
Well, let's see if the replay can yield any answers here.
If that one hit the tree, it hit it awfully square and bounced right back as if it were off the wall. Sonnenfeld explaining himself to the center fielder Kelleher. But as it stands, and it will stand, a 2-run home run as we take a look at the replay.
Yeah, it hit off the wall. It looked like it did not hit the tree. That hit about 10 feet higher than the wall, so that should be an extra base hit more than likely. But it will go in as a home run. The replay clearly shows it hit the wall, not the tree in left field.
The Sanford Mainers will take it. A 2-run home run by Bobby Doyen, the number 9 hitter. And he's shown some power as of late. So the Mainers only down 2.
Brett Mullenhour.
I'll have to get an explanation from Sonnenfeld what he saw after the game. Well, Doyen will take it. The leadoff hitter Mullenhour takes a strike over the inside corner. He's relieved to see Nelson gone, as he went 0 for 3 with a strikeout back in the 5th. Price delivers the 0-1. Fouled back and out of play. Quickly down 0-2 is Mullenhour. That ball was certainly well struck off the bat of Doyen. No doubt about that. It would have been a base hit either way, but it goes in the books as a home run. The 0-2. Big breaking ball outside and low for ball 1 to Mullenhour. Mara waits on deck.
There's a replay of the home run again.
Try and see where this one hits.
Like it hit it right
About
in front of the
way, 3/4 of the wall, or way up the wall.
It's a very delayed reaction from John Leeds. He signaled after Aaron Iseric signaled home run at third base.
Price is 2-2. Fastball catches the inside corner for strike 3. Mullenhour doesn't like it. He goes down looking. The second strikeout tonight. And the catcher, Chris Forston, who made an error, a mental error earlier in the inning. That could have been an out to Doyen.
Number 7.
Rolls the ball back to the pitcher as if he thought it was the third out. So Doyen took advantage of his new life as Mara steps in. First pitch he sees is a fastball right down the heart of the plate for strike 1. Mara been on base twice tonight. Takes a fastball over the outside corner for strike 2. Struck out in the first, singled and scored in the third, reached on an error and scored in the 5th. 3 straight fastballs over the outside corner. Mara doesn't take the bat off his shoulders, but the Mainers get 2 more back in the top of the 6th inning on a 2-run bomb by Bobby Doyen to left. As we go to the bottom half of the 6th inning, 8-6 now, Newport on the NECBL Broadcast Network. The Irish Army in full effect here down the third and left field line as they have a mammoth Irish flag.
That is monstrous.
That is covering about 6 rows and 10 people in each row deep as Ben Burmeister gets set to work here in the 6th. He delivers a fastball high and away to Caranto. Caranto has been on base all 3 times, 3 for 3 with 3 singles. 2 runs scored and an RBI. 8-6 Newport. As a breaking ball catches the corner for strike 1.
Of course, the World Cup in full swing today.
Not much of a soccer fan myself, but always pay attention
Me
to the
neither.
World Cup when it rolls around. As ball 2 sails wide from Burmeister.
So I did play for 9 years. Yes, I was an athlete once.
Little known fact about Nick Lima,
I don't think that's ever come out over the air before.
9 years soccer player.
We only talk about soccer too much here in baseball, or with those Irish soccer fans. That has come up in the last few years.
Burmeister delivers. Fastball over the outside corner for strike 2. 2-2 now. As Caranto didn't like the call. Took a peek back at Koneski. Mullenhauer didn't like his strikeout call back in the top half of the inning. As Burmeister delivers the 2-2. Breaking ball lifted high in the air to right field. Coming on as Miller, going out is Wendell. Miller calls off the second baseman for out number 1. Bryce Nugent now, the designated hitter from Marist, will bat. He is 1 for 2 with an RBI and 2 runs
Number
scored.
27, Bryce Nugent.
Nugent awaits the first pitch from Burmeister. He's done well after he settled down in the second inning. A big breaking ball misses for ball 1. But Burmeister gave up 3 runs, and if he hadn't given up 3 of those 3 runs, we'd have a different ball game here in Newport. But they are on the board, and it is 8-6. Fastball over the outside corner for strike 1. Burmeister waiting for Nugent to get back in the box. Now he is ready. The righty winds and delivers. Fastball away for ball 2. 2-1 now to the Marist College product. Came into tonight hitting .400. No home runs, 3 RBI. Picked up another one back in the second inning. After that, the Gulls have been quiet. This one is grounded to the right side. First baseman Doug Elliott boots it. And that one will go down as an E3. An error charge to the first baseman tonight, Doug Elliott. The catcher out of UConn, but playing first base tonight. As take a look at the replay. It goes over to the second base area.
The shortstop.
And there is one on with one out here in the 6th inning. Kenny DeKroger now out of Sanford, 2 for 3 in his career as a Newport Gull in 2010. Burmeister delivers breaking ball that gets by the catcher DePrado up to second. Goes the base runner. As that one.
Let's see if we can get a replay on that one to see if the catcher, somebody get a glove on it. It'll be going as a wild pitch, says Josh Leibowitz. Leibowitz, our official scorer and statistician.
Second wild pitch of the night for Burmeister, as he now works from the stretch with a runner on second base and one out. Ground ball fisted down the first base line. It will be foul just outside of the bag at first as we eclipse the 2-hour mark here in Newport. 8:30. Game got underway about 5 minutes early.
Real grinder tonight. Gulls have led the whole way. Sanford has slowly been climbing their way back.
They put 8 in the first 2 innings. On the scoreboard did the Gulls. Maynard's got 1 back in the second and 1 back in the third, 2 in the fifth and 2 in the sixth. If that pattern continues, the 8th and 9th should be pretty good for Sanford. Burmeister sets. He delivers the 1-1. Fastball lifted high in the air to right field. Back goes Miller, still going back at the wall. Makes the catch to his side. Tagging and bluffing is the base runner. And a nice job by Miller holding Nugent at second on the long fly out to right field.
The third baseman, number 10.
Well, after a strong offensive showing in the first 2 innings, the Gulls' offense has pretty much been shut down since the second. They've only managed 2 hits since then, 1 in each of the 3rd and 4th innings. They've been held scoreless since then, allowing the Mainers a chance to climb right back into this one. Now we have a new pitcher coming on, so a pitching change coming to you in this game from Cardines Field. We'll come back to you about the new pitcher next on the ACBL Broadcast Network.
New pitcher here at Cardines Field is Alex Caravella, the lefty, out of the University of Pittsburgh. The freshman from Harrington Park, New Jersey, stands at 5'10", 175 pounds.
Number 23.
For the Panthers, he went 2-1 with a 4.53 ERA in 16 appearances, started 4 games, logged 51 2/3 innings, struck out 32, walked only 14, gave up 26 earned runs on 53 hits. Caravella making his second appearance for Coach Isaac. He is one of 7 pitchers with a 0 ERA. Went an inning in the 3rd, gave up 2 hits, struck out 1 in a game earlier this season. I believe that one was against Newport back on Saturday night. And that 11-inning extra inning walk-off win for the Sanford Mainers, and we may see some extra inning or late inning magic here at Cardines Field in this one.
The batter is Dan Gamache.
Lefty-lefty matchup here as Dan Gamache digs in from the left side. He's reached base all 3 times. Last 2 via singles. Caravella delivers. Off-speed delivery for a called strike. Gamache out of Auburn. Run scored in RBI so far tonight. Only in the 6th inning here as we are 2 hours and 4 minutes deep into this ball game. Fastball, nice stop by the catcher DePrado, going to his left outside for ball 1. Caravella to the set. Now delivers. Fastball that catches the outside corner for strike 2. Gamache has yet to take the bat off his shoulders here in 3 pitches. Looking ahead to the 7th inning, it will be McCann, Schultz, and Wendell, the heart of the Sanford order, facing the Newport Gulls pitching. Caravella delivers the 1-2. Swung and a miss on a beautiful changeup inside. And that is the out that ends the bottom of the 6th for the Newport Gulls. Caravella comes in and picks up a strikeout to end the 6th, where Beermeister left off. We head to the top of the 7th, 8-6, Newport on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Back here for the top of the 7th inning, the Mainers will send McCann, Schultz, and Wendell to face Dexter Price, and here to carry you the rest of the way through the final 3, the voice of the Newport Gulls, Nick Lima. Nick?
Thank you very much, Dan Asherson. 8-6. This game getting tighter as we go along.
Number 14.
Dexter Price out for a 2nd inning of work. Gave up a 2-run homer to Bobby Doyen in the 6th, but struck out the side. 3 Ks in the inning, 2 of them looking. 1 on 3 pitches. First pitch misses, ball 1 to Mike McCann. McCann 1 for 2, an infield single, fly to center, was hit by a pitch. It's a stolen base on the night as well. 1-0. Fastball comes inside and high, ball 2. Tomorrow night, the Newport Gulls go back on the road for the first time since their big victory over New Bedford on Sunday. They travel to Laconia for the first time this season tomorrow. It's a 2-0 misses high and away, ball 3. Tony Bucefaro makes his Gulls debut. Tomorrow night's scheduled starter. He was 7-5 with a 5.08 ERA for the Spartans at Michigan State University. 3-0 pitch is taken for strike 1. A hitter's count for McCann.
little chill entering in the air here coming off the water at Cardines Field.
Pitch. Hideaway ball 4, leadoff walk here in the 7th inning. Temperature is supposed to get down to the low 50s tonight. The wind has picked up slightly. Just blowing in off the water. Only about a block away from the ocean here. Cardines, the closest of all the NECBL ballparks to the water. Probably also the most urban of all the ballparks. So several located in the middle of cities. This ballpark literally is only yards away from the main center road here in Newport, and there are houses and buildings pressed right up against the field. And of course, the infamous warehouse, which you may notice was painted in the last couple weeks as part of this ongoing painting and renovation project. It was all rusted and looked terrible. Now it's still in a terrible location, but at least it looks nice.
I noticed that a restaurant is opened up on the field instead of above in the balcony now.
Yeah, well, that's always been there. The Mudville Pub seating area was closed renovations all last summer.
All right.
It's been there for decades.
That's why.
Mudville Pub back open again. Favorite of the coaches after the game.
Oh, I bet. Nice atmosphere here at Cardines Field. Always a beautiful place to play baseball. Even it's worth the trip down from Sanford especially.
Really, they should count all those folks sitting in that area as part of the attendance here, but they do not.
I'm sure there's no 45-minute wait limit as the bleacher bar at Fenway Park, so fans can leisurely enjoy their dinner.
I would hope not over there. Temperature was game time at 63. We're down to 59 here. So wind's blowing off the water. A long conference with the mound with the pitching coach Jeff Walker. Dexter Price figures out how to deal to Jim Schultz. He's been on base twice. Issued a walk back in the 3rd, singled in the 5th. Pitch, looper over the head of the shortstop in the left center field. That's going to drop in for a base hit. The first 2 have reached here in the 7th.
The Mainers have been in climb back mode, clawing and scratching their way after being down 8-1 after the 2nd. And they have 2 on and nobody out here to start the 7th inning. This is the first true offensive test for the Mainers as they've had to climb out of this hole. They've done so to a good extent so far.
Here's Joey Wendell. 1 for 2. Throw down to second is not in time. Good save by Kane to Kroger there. Snap throw by the catcher, Chris Forston. The pitcher's inside, ball 1 on Wendell. McCann was well off the bag at second. Take a shorter lead now. Wendell, 2-run double in the 5th. Bounced into a 3-6-3 twin killing in the 3rd. Hit off the helmet by a pitch in the 2nd, though he was fine moments later. The 1-0 pitch, then there for a strike. There was a scary moment. He ran right down to the bag at first base, but was checked out by the trainer once he got there. Scored back in the 2nd. It's a 2-run ball game, 8-6 Newport leads. We're here in the 7th. 2 on and no one out. The 1-1 pitch shows bunt, takes it outside, 2-1.
Mike McCann out there dancing at second base, trying to get the best secondary lead he can with the sacrifice bunt on the past 2 pitches.
McCann and Schultz have each been on base 3 times tonight. The 2-1 shows bunt again, takes it for a strike. Throw to second is
into center field.
Into center field, not in time. The throw was in time, but couldn't be handled by DeKroger that time. Couldn't see the ball rolling into center field and was waiting for John Leeds, a base umpire, to single out or safe, but once the ball get away from DeKroger, of course, he didn't have to make a call. Wendell at the plate, 2-2 the count, 2 on. Price looking for the first out here. He comes to the stretch and deals. Line drive in the right field. That's going to drop in for a base hit. He plays it on a hop. Being held at third is McCann, and the bases are loaded with nobody out as the throw comes into home plate.
A nice job by Joey Wendell after he missed the bunt attempt. Still does a nice job moving the runners up and getting on base himself with a nice looping liner into right field. And the Mainers have the bases loaded with nobody out. They trailed 8-1 after 2 innings, and we'll get a pitching change here from Cardines Field.
Mike Coombs out of the dugout. Pitching change here in this game. We'll take a step away. We'll come back to you about the new pitcher next. In a bases loaded situation with no one out in a 2-run ball game, Newport Gulls 8, Sanford Mainers 6, with the Sanford Mainers threatening heavily here in the 7th inning. Back in a moment on the ACBL Broadcast Network. Tight ball game could get a lot tighter right here. The bases loaded situation. John Farrell steps on for the Newport Gulls. He's inherited 3 runners and nobody out. Before we tell you about Farrell, we'll step away and take 10 seconds for station identification here on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
NCTV 18 Newport County, the World Wide Web, and on DVD, Newport Gulls Baseball celebrating 10 years on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
But John Farrell on in a big spot here for the Newport Gulls. As we get later in this ball game, the Gulls lose the lead here. They're running out of time to come back. Their offense has been all but shut down since the 2nd inning. As Farrell,
from William and Mary University,
making his 4th relief appearance of the season. He's worked 4 innings, allowing just 1 hit and a walk, striking out 6.
The batter is first
no runs allowed. Points hitting .083 off of Farrell. It's a good fastball. Curveball and change up the pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 1. Chase a sinking fastball at the back, drop out of it. Doug Elliott is 1 for 3, single, bounced to second, grounded to short. McCann at third, who walked, Schultz at second, and Wendell at first. They both single as the pitches fouled off. They count 0-2.
Very eager in his 4th plate appearance is Doug Elliott, swinging at the first 2 pitches from John Farrell. Figured to get a pitch to hit, and one of those 2 came up empty.
From the stretch, Farrell, he deals. Swung on and missed, strike 3. There's a big first strikeout for John Farrell. And the Gulls defense. Dexter Price struck out 3 in the 6th. Couldn't record an out here in the 7th. All 3 base runners are his property here. Here's Tyler DePrato. DePrato 0 for 2. Popped to second base, fly to left. DePrato walked, stole a base in the 6th. Scored on the 2-run homer by Doyen. First pitch, strike 1. Nothing but strikes so far from Farrell. He's been very effective out of Newport's bullpen thus far. Bases full of Mainers. Tying run at second, go ahead run at first. A pitch, swung on and missed. Strike 2, and the Mainers very eager at the plate here with the bases loaded against Farrell. Swinging away and pitches out of the zone.
DePrato just wants to put the ball in play here. Doesn't want to go down. Needed a strikeout, just trying to push another run across. Big holes on the left side and right side of the infield.
0-2 fastball up and away, ball 1. As DePrato didn't chase that time. Infield at double play depth. 1 out, bases loaded. We're here in the 7th. John Farrell comes to the stretch. His 1-2 pitch. Just outside. Oh, that was close. Ball 2. An inconsistent strike zone of Steve Kineski tonight.
Consistently inconsistent.
So he's been consistent. 2-2 the count. Here's the pitch. Ground ball hit to the right side. Hit softly. The second baseman looks at home, throws to first. They get 1 out, and it's a 1-run game. An RBI ground out for DePrato as McCann crossed the plate from third. It's 8-7 Newport. Still 2 runners in scoring position.
The Mainers will take it, continuing to scratch and claw here in this one.
Number 18.
And you got to give the offense credit. They didn't give up. And the defense and pitching credit. The whole team credit here with Greg Miller at the plate.
The pitch. Inside corner for strike 1. Miller drove in a run on a grounder in the 2nd. Fly to right, struck out.
Still looking for his first base hit. 0 for 7 to open up the season here in Sanford.
The 0-1 pitch. Fastball is in there for strike 2. Just clipped the inside corner at the knees.
Some of the Mainers hitters being very eager. Swing at pitches out of the zone. Others
ignoring the ones that are down the middle.
Yeah.
Schultz leads at third. Wendell from second. A check swing on a ball. Change-up inside. It's ball one. Should Miller reach? Bobby Dorian with the 2-run homer to the gap and left. Waits on deck. Here's a 1-2 pitch. A little bit high, ball two. Miller still hitless in the season. He's 0 for 7. This is his third game played. Outfield playing deep. Infield shades him to the left with 2 outs. Here is the 2-2 pitch. Just missed, low and inside, ball 3.
And the entire Newport Gulls defense heading towards the dugout.
You got to wait for Steve Koneski. He has had a couple of delayed calls here tonight. Counts worked full, first base open here. Farrell sets the payoff pitch. Strike 3 call down the middle. Miller checked the swing. Either went around or there was a strike down the middle. Either way, a big strikeout for John Farrell here. So the Mainers get one back, and after 6.5, it's 8-7 Newport Gulls. Let's pick up the public address announcer Dino Hanley and take me out to the ball game.
Buy me some peanuts and cracker jack. I don't care if I ever get back, for it's root for the Gulls team.
Try it. Try it.
It's a shame.
You want Foster wants
For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
7th inning stretch time at Cardines Field. 8-7 Newport Gulls lead it on the ACBL Broadcast Network. Last of the 7th here in Newport. See if we have a pitch hitter here for the Newport Gulls. Looks like yes we do. A new player here for the Newport Gulls.
We have a pinch hitter for the Newport Gulls, number 21, Zach Elgie.
Zach Elgie making his Gull debut. First pitch is low, ball 1. So Elgie takes over from Mac Blow. 1-run game. It's 8-7 Newport. Pitch swung on and missed. Count 1-1. Blow was 0 for 1 with a walk, a strikeout, and a sac fly. 1-1 pitches in there for a strike, 1 and 2. Alex Caravella struck out Gamache to end the 6th. Back on for a first full inning of work here in the 7th.
Interleague play open once again in the Major League circuit.
Pitch comes inside and hits him. Elgie's first at bat. He also reaches base. So all 4 goals who had their first at bat here tonight reached base one way or another. The Kroger by a single. Gamache with the fielder's choice. Blow with a walk, and now Elgie hit by a pitch.
Certainly not the start to the bottom of the 7th that Caravella wanted here. Wants to work with a runner on first base. We have yet to see his move. The lefty from the University of Pittsburgh.
Is Julian Sonnenfeld, who is 0 for 3 with an RBI. The pitch shows bunt, takes it for a strike. Elgie stands in at first, native of Miro, North Dakota. University of Kansas sophomore. Caravella's pitch. Strike on the outside corner. Sonnenfeld disagrees. It's 0-2.
Sonnenfeld just wants to get the bunt down. He's pulled it back thinking he's taking 2 balls, but instead they have been called strikes.
Tap on the plate as he looks out on Alex. The 0-2 pitch. On the way. That's outside, ball 1. Chris Forston to follow.
Go get a job done. Come on, baby. Go get a job done.
Long look in for Caravella. His 1-2 pitch to the plate. Swung on and missed. He chased a breaking ball. Had some movement on it. Sanford goes down by way of the K. Second strikeout for Caravella.
Both coming on those curve balls to inside corner of left-handed hitters. So a nice job by Caravella to battle back after the hit by pitch and record another strikeout.
5 strikeouts for Maynard pitching. Warming your hands underneath our light bulbs, I see. We can charge you for that, you know.
A little chilly.
It's getting cold here at Cardines. The pitch, outside ball 1 to Chris Forston, who's 0 for 1. He's walked twice. Forston now has 6 walks in the season. Just 1 hit. Pitch, high and tight, ball 2. About 57 degrees now at Cardines Field, and temperature will continue to drop to the low 50s tonight. Radiational cooling with no cloud cover. 2-0 pitch, swung on and missed. A big cut of the fastball, but was late. Runner at first here in a tight game, 8-7 Newport. One time Gulls led 8-0. 5 runs in the first, 3 in the second. It was 8-1 too at one point. Pitch, then there for a strike. It was also 5-1, so it was never 8-0.
Never, no. Maynard's got 1 in the second to make it 5-1. It was 8-1, 8-2, 8-4, 8-6, and now 8-7.
They've been clawing their way back. Still have time left. The pitch is popped up, foul, right side, out of play. Lands right near where my vehicle is parked, next to the Mudville Pub on West Marlborough Street behind us. I knew I should have parked in the garage across the street tonight.
Better call Newport Glass.
Hopefully I don't have to after this game. Get a long ride home to Providence. 2-2 pitch. Again, popped up foul over by my car, but this one will land behind us across the street from the fire station, which has been remarkably quiet through the first 4 home games. We do have an official attendance report. It's the second highest crowd of the season. 2,826, 2,826. The attendance here for tonight's ball game. Pitch, swung on and missed. Strike 3, the ball gets away, and Forston didn't move at first. Let's see.
There will be no advance as there was a runner on first base with less than 2 outs. So it will be strikeout number 3 for Caravella, but down to second on the passed ball will go Zach Elge.
So Newport a key runner in scoring position, but there are 2 out now for the top of the order, Derek Legg. Legg is 0 for 2. 2 walks, an RBI.
The second
Run
baseman,
scored. He fly to center.
number 4.
And on a bunt fielder's choice,
Legg.
reached base, but it was caught stealing. Great play by DePrado. Got him down at second base in the 5th inning. The pitch. Fastball outside corner for strike 1.
He's got that beautiful fastball that he can spot up, and then his go-to out pitch is just it seems like a 40-mile-an-hour breaking ball that fools every hitter it faces.
Really comes in slowly. From the stretch, he checks the runner and fires the 0-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. A change up. One at 66, going to the radar gun.
Is that similar to the Nick Limo windometer?
Very similar. I usually only use that on the road. Here at home, we have a trusty laptop computer. Check the weather forecast. The 0-2 pitch. Outside, ball 1. One at 85. That's miles per hour, not kilometers. What's the World Cup going on right now? 1-2 the count on Derek Legg. 2 outs. A runner at second. 8-7 Gulls lead. Looking for some insurance here. The pitch. Ground ball right side. Backhand stab by Elliott. He'll take it to the bag himself for the out. That retires the side. The Gulls stranded runner. They've left 8. And we have played 7 complete here at Cardines Field. Newport 8, Sanford 7 as we continue on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Eighth inning here in Newport. John Farrell will come out for his first full inning of work. He did record all 3 outs in the 7th. He had to deal with bases loaded and only 1 run across the plate for the Sanford Mainers. They'll have 6 more opportunities. So this one is over in front of 2,826 fans here at Cardines Field. The Newport Gulls take an 8-7 lead into the top of the 8th. Bobby Doyen lead things off here in the 8th. He had the 2-run homer that brought the Mainers within 2 runs in the 6th. Pitch. Fastball taken inside for a strike. The call on the home run questionable after reviewing the replay. It certainly is possible. It may have clipped some tree branches before it hit the wall, which would be a home run according to the ground rules as the pitch is swung on and missed for strike 2. The homer, Storian's first of the season. Counted for his 4th and 5th RBI. His 4th hit. The 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball is outside.
3rd home run for the Sanford Mainers. Jim Schultz has 1. Joey Wendell grand slam. That one the first 2-run shot for the Sanford Mainers as they have continued to crawl their way back into this one, now trailing by a single run here in the 8th.
1-2 the count. Farrell fires. There's a looper in the left center. That will drop down for a hit. Cut off by Killer on a hop. 1-out single, and once again, the Sanford Mainers have the leadoff man on. That is the 5th time tonight.
And Mullenhour will step up. Leadoff man for this Sanford Mainer lineup. He has struck out the last 2 times. Both, one swinging and one looking, but both at bats. Did he have something negative to say to the home plate umpire, Stephen Konecki? So we'll see what he does here. Possibly the bunt play on, trying to move that runner over.
Righty-lefty matchup here. Mullenhour wears number 1. He shows bunt, pulls the bat away. Ball 1. That flag has died down again. There's really not much wind at all here today, so the ball hasn't carried so well. It is getting very chilly here. Pitch. Up and away. Forsen fakes a throw back to first, no one covering there. Ball 2. Now, despite the temperatures, none of the players, well, very few of the players are wearing the long sleeves tonight. Jim Schultz was, as is Mike Coombs. It's a 2-0. Squares for a bunt right in front of the plate. Picked up. The catcher throws down to second. Not in time. Forsen thought he could gun down the lead man, Doyen. But his throw came in on a hop. And Doyen beat the tag. There will be 2 on with nobody out in a 1-run game.
Will go down as the fielder's choice in the books, as Mullenhour would have been retired had the throw gone to first, but now the Mainers with 2 on and nobody out instead of a runner in scoring position with 1 out.
Matt Mara's 1 for 4. He reached on an error, singled, scored, struck out twice. First pitch strike.
Mainers 2 vices this season. They've gotten vastly improved on the base running aspect, but certainly getting that bunt down in sacrifice situations has been the bee in their bonnet so far this season.
Farrell sits the 0-1. Low and away. Good stop by Forston.
You do have speed on the base pass. Bobby Doyen was 23 for 26 in stolen base attempts. And Brett Mullenhour was 7 for 12. So certainly some capable runners for Coach Isaric as they continue their comeback here in the 8th.
1-1 pitch. He shows bunt. Takes a fastball right down the middle for strike 2. One defensive change for the Newport Gulls here in the inning as Zach Elgie does take over from Matt Blow at first base. First time we've seen him in a game defensively. Crowd wants a strikeout here at Cardines. A 1-2 pitch. Strike 3 called on the inside corner. There's a huge second out for John Farrell. A rather huge first out as the fielder's choice was not an out.
The left
Gulls
fielder,
can't get out of the inning now. The double play.
number 14,
Mike McCann
Mike McCann.
is 1 for 2. Which an infield single was hit by a pitch, walked, fly to center. Pitch. Fastball in the inside corner for strike 1.
This is a power matchup. Mike McCann had 10 home runs for Manhattan, facing a fastball pitcher in Farrell.
From the set, the 0-1. Change-up on the outside corner for strike 2. Throwing the fastball and the changeup for strikes. Only the breaking ball has been outside. Once again, the crowd wants to strike out. The 0-2 pitch. Ground ball, fisted foul on the first base side, trailing towards the Maynard dugout. Jim Schultz waits on deck. Doyne is the tying run at second. The go-ahead run, Mollenhauer at first. Newport has led this one all the way, but the Mainers threaten here in the 8th. 1 down and 2 on. The 0-2 pitch to McCann. Ground ball to the right side, charging the second baseman. He has it, throws to first, not in time. As McCann beats it out, the bases are loaded.
Well, will go down as an infield single. He beat it out. Just pure speed. The covering first baseman went to make a play on the ball and then didn't get back in time. The throw was there. I just believe his foot was either just off the bag or it had come off the bag. If we get a replay on that, that would tell us everything. But the base is loaded full of Mainers once again as they try and push the game-tying run across.
So a Mainer on every base. There's Jim Schultz. He's been on base 3 times. Steps up to the plate. He is the starting pitcher for the Mainers on the hook here.
Trying to erase himself from the decision.
There's a huge opportunity now. The tying run 90 feet away. Go-ahead run in scoring position at second. The pitch. Curve in there for a strike. Nothing in 1.
The replay shows that LG's foot was not on the bag in time.
Bases are jammed. Farrell fires. Swung on and hit in the air a long way to deep left. Sonnenfeld at the wall. He reaches up, makes a catch. Tagging from third is Doyen. The throw comes into third base, and we have a new ball game here in the 8th. A sacrifice fly for Jim Schultz, and we are knotted at 8 in the 8th inning.
It appears about 1,200 remain, if that, maybe less than 1,000 of the Newport Gulls crowd here, and they are missing a good one. 8s across the scoreboard, 8-8 in the 8th inning here from Cardines Field.
The runners move up. Joe Wendell has an opportunity to give the Mainers their first lead of the night. Runner at third, a runner at second, now 2 down. The pitch. Ground ball stabbed on the mound by Farrell. He throws to first in time for the out that retires the side. However, the Mainers get that big run across and have tied it up. We're through 7.5 from Cardines Field. 8 all around on the NECBL Broadcast Network. So a few defensive changes for the Sanford Mainers as we go to the last of the 8th. First, a new pitcher on the mound, Lucas Elix.
Elix also out of the University of Pittsburgh Panther program. Teammate of Caravella comes on here in the bottom of the 8th inning for the Panthers. He went 0-0 with a 5.40 ERA in 2 appearances. 1 game started, only 3 1/3 innings logged. For the Sanford Mainers this season, Elix leads the team in wins with 1 and saves, has the only save of the season, which came against the Newport Gulls. He has allowed one hit by pitch, 3 strikeouts, and 12 batters faced, an ERA of 0. Batters hitting 111 against the righty from the University of Pittsburgh and Lackawaxen, Pennsylvania.
Doug Elliott moved behind the plate and catch. And catcher Tyler DePrado switches with Elliott, will be the first baseman. Here's Brendan Kelleher. Had a quiet night, surprisingly, 1 for 4. Came in batting .522 to lead the league. Takes the first pitch strike. Line to first, popped to short, struck out. And he doubled, scored a run back in the first inning. Alex winds, kicks, and delivers. Curve floats just inside for ball 1. Kelleher, Caranto, Nugent, high of the order due up here in the 8th. The tied ball game. Pitch. Fastball, foul tip towards the plate area. Kelleher just got a piece of it. Well, these two teams have already gone to extra innings once this season, and the result favored the Mainers 11 innings, 3-2 on the road. 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball hit on the ground to short. Charging hard, Mollenhauer. Gloves to first in time. 1 away.
Give credit to this Mainers bullpen. After Burmeister settled down, he went 3 2/3 scoreless. Caravella went an inning and a third scoreless. Didn't allow a hit, struck out 3, hit a batter. But the Mainers have glued it all together here in the late innings to come back and tie it at 8.
Quickly 1 away is Kevin Caranto. Pitch. Inside low, ball 1. Caranto is 3 for 4, 3 singles, fly to right. It's an RBI, a pair of runs scored. Pitch, it's in there for a strike. The count will even at 1-1. Stay tuned after the game, whenever that may happen, for Newport Gulls post-game report. So pause, here's the pitch. It's low and away, ball 2. Stats, standings, finals from around the league. Totals for this game, and of course our exclusive player of the game interview. The 2-1. Fastball, outside corner for a strike. Caranto disagrees. That was certainly the outside part of the outside corner.
I have a question. Has the player of the game ever been from the opposing team?
Once or twice, actually. I think one time we even got the interview. Usually they run off to get their post-game meal, though, so we can't get them.
So delicious here at Newport. One of my favorite aspects, the home-cooked meal after the game.
The concession stand isn't bad either here. Great French fries this year. Though they don't have the mozzarella sticks, I'm very disappointed. The 3-2 pitch, swung on, foul to the backstop. I've been pounding those mozzarella sticks for 6 years now. Probably going to die of a heart attack at 30, but boy, did I live on my summer nights here.
Mozzarella sticks, French fries, can't go wrong.
The 3-2 pitch. Ground ball again, hit to short. And second top hop to Mollenhauer. Gloves goes to first, just in time for out number 2. Pair of 6-3 ground outs. And Lucas Alex is working his way right through the heart of the order here in the 8th.
Now, if you told anybody that this game was 5-0 after the first, 8-1 after the second, and then told them that it was 8-8 with 2 outs in the 8th inning, they would have called you crazy, but that's what we have. And these teams always fight each other to the end. And it's always a good game provided by both squads, no matter who's on what side.
Nugent swings at a high fastball, misses for strike 1. Gulls were 7-2 against Sanford last year, though the Mainers have had a couple years in the last 4 years where they have swept Newport in the season series. The pitch is low. Though last year was the first time that these two teams met so many times throughout the season. Prior to that, they were in different divisions, so they only saw each other twice. It was in 2008, the Mainers did take the championship from the Gulls here at Cardines. The pitch, there's a liner in the right field. That's going to drop in for a base hit. It'll go all the way down to the wall into the corner. Miller cuts it off quickly and will hold Nugent to a single.
Nice job by Nugent to go into right field for a base hit, but an even better job by Miller to chase it down. That went all the way in the corner, and a strong throw held the runner at first base.
Lucas Alex Asadillo with the go-ahead run at first now.
Shortstop,
Alex was the winner
number 12.
in the extra inning matchup on Saturday night in Maine. June 5th, 3-2 victory for the Mainers. It's Kenny DeKruger. It's a pitch outside, ball 1. Kenny is 2 for 4 in his Newport Gulls debut with an RBI. And a run scored. Fly to right his last time, also bounced to second. 2 outs, 1 on. The 1-0 pitch is high and tight, ball 2. Dan Gamache to follow. Matt Rogers was the loser in that game. He pitched effectively in relief. He was a temporary player. The pitch is swung on and looped into left field over the leaping shortstop. Mullenhauer, base hit. Stopping at second is Nugent. And with 2 down, Gulls have strung together a pair of hits here in the 8th inning. The first time they've had 2 hits in the same inning since the 2nd.
We'll get Coach Isaric out there to pull together his infield after 2 quick 6-3 putouts in the 8th inning. Back-to-back singles. And he just wants to calm down his pitcher and defense here and try and get out of this 8th inning. Looking ahead to the top of the 9th, the Mainers will send the catcher Elliott, the first baseman DePrado, and Greg Miller to bat.
Dan Gamache, 2 for 4 tonight in his Gulls debut. He's knocked in 2 runs, stole a base as well. He struck out his last time. Gamache hit .387, 7 homers, 34 RBI for Auburn University as a sophomore. Big RBI opportunity right here with hitting room in right center of the pitch. Outside ball 1, a wide gap between the center fielder Doyen and left fielder McCann if he can pull one. Dan Gamache, the Rhode Island native. Steps in, the pitch is looped down the left field line, hooking, foul into the Newport bullpen. Well, the shared bullpen, I should say, down there. Long foul ball. Gamache, native of Exeter, Rhode Island. 6 foot, 200-pound left-handed batter. Can play second and third base, so starting at third tonight. 1-1 pitch. Out and away, ball 2. Family, long-time hopes family for the Gulls in past years. Zach LG to follow. 2 down, 2 on, the 2-1 pitch. Again, hit in the air down the left field line, hooking into foul territory. Lands about 6 or 7 feet to the left of the foul line. As McCann ran over there, but it dropped quickly. Runners head back to their positions. And the count is 2-2. Lucas Alex, the right-hander, gets the sign from his catcher Elliott. From the stretch, here's the pitch to Dan Gamache. High and away, ball 3. A walk here would load the bases for LG. Infield takes a step to the left. Nugent from second to Kroger from first. 2 outs, we're tied at 8 here in the last of the 8th at Cardines Field. The payoff pitch. Ground ball hit to the right side. Wendell Fields gloves to first. In time, got him by a step for the out that retires the side. And we stay tied. The Newport Gulls strand a pair. They've left 10. And after 8 full from Cardines Field, we go to the 9th, tied at 8, here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Ninth inning, Cardines Field. John Farrell come out for a 3rd inning of work. So he picked up 3 strikeouts. They allowed 1 run in the 8th. That was the tying run.
Number 8.
The running allowed in the 7th was charged to Dexter Price. Face Doug Elliott here. We're knotted at 8. The pitch is taken high, ball 1.
Possibly now the Mainers have learned that Farrell's going to be around the strike zone and that they need to be careful and take healthy swings.
Pitch. That's in there for a strike. And the count even at 1-1. Well, it's the final now in New Bedford. The Bay Sox came back. Laconia was leading 1-0. New Bedford took the victory 2-1. 2-1 now the count on Elliott. He's 1 for 4. Farrell works quickly. 2-1 pitch. Swung on a miss, strike 2. Elsewhere around the league, one other final report. Holyoke shut out Vermont 8-0 at Mackenzie Stadium in Holyoke, Massachusetts. Bottom of the ninth, Danbury 2, North Adams 1 at Joel Field. The pitch is grounded to the shortstop. Backhand grab by the Kroger. The throw gets away. Oh no, the throw is in time for the out.
Doug Elliott hit it in the hole in between second and third, but the slow-footed catcher couldn't outrun the throw by DeKroger for out number 1.
My view obscured by the many nets and poles and rafters here at Cardine. So
Number 32.
1 out here in the ninth.
Tyler DePrado.
Is Tyler DePrado. Takes the first pitch, strike in the outside corner. He is 0 for 3 with a walk and a run batted in. Bottom of the order, do it for the Gulls in the last of the ninth. 7, 8, and 9. LG, Seidenfeld, and Forston. 0-1 pitch, misses for ball 1. Top of the ninth, another tie ball game. Keene and Bristol at Muzzy Field in Connecticut. They're tied at 2. Pitch, it's way inside as he hops out of the way, ball 2. Lowell idle tonight. Laconia falling right now. First place on the line here in the NECBL East. Pitch is up and away. 3-1. Sanford 1 game ahead of the Newport Gulls. Laconia now tied with Newport for second place. Bedford not far back either. North Shore has been struggling though. The pitch. Strike called on the inside corner. The count is 3-2. North Shore 0-4. They also had the net off tonight. Farrell, payoff pitch is inside, ball 4.
Yeah, DePrado dancing that whole at bat. And dancing on about 3 separate occasions. DePrado did a nice job to work a 1-out walk here. And Greg Miller, who is 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts, will come up to bat. A big spot for him. See if he
The right
tries
fielder,
or is called on to lay down a bunt.
number 18, Greg Miller.
Miller, driven in a run. He's 0 for 4. Bounce to third, fly to right. Struck out twice. Takes a first pitch strike from Farrell. The walk issued by Farrell. This is his second free pass of the season. 0-1. Inside and high. Good save by Forston.
Big hole on the left side. If he can get around on one of these pitches from Farrell for Miller. Still looking for his first base hit. 0 for 8. Did have a run scored in a game earlier this season.
A 1-1. Swung on a miss. Strike 2. Sanford right now 4-1. Newport 3-2. Laconia drops to 4-3. New Bedford improves to 2-1. A lot of games to catch up on. One-two pitch. Outside, bounces away from the catcher Forson, but keeps in front of him for ball 2. Crowd can't seem to agree on when to start the strike him out call.
The cameraman down on top of the Newport Gulls dugout trying to get the fans going. Not sure if that's allowed. Improper biasness here at Newport.
I'm not even sure his name. I think he's one of the Gulls staffers that we grabbed tonight since we were short on crew. The 2-2 pitch. Low and away, ball 3. Look at the runner at first as he retreats. We're tied at 8. Count worked full to the second straight batter. Bobby Doyen has been on base 3 times with a 2-run homer, waits on deck. Miller at the plate for his first hit of the season. As Farrell struggling here in the ninth. The pitch. Inside, ball 4. Oh, and Folston tried to frame it, but Steve Koneski disagreed.
It's been a strike all night. I'm not going to lie on that one. As Koneski grants the batter with a walk. We're going to meeting on the mound here.
Looks like Jeff Walker, Gulls pitching coach, out for a word. Do we have a pinch runner entering the game?
It appears as though we do. It will be Marlon Calby. So Calby in for Miller.
See, his name's still spelled wrong in the official league statistics. They've been slow correcting those. Julian Sonnenfeld's name spelled wrong as well. Spelling here is Sonnerfield. It's a double misspelling. Steve Koneski out to bring out the confidence on the mound. As Calby takes over at first base. Runners at first and second with just one out. Calby at first. Prado at second. We're tied at 8 as Walker heads back to the dugout. Bobby Doyen walked, bounced to second, homeward to left, single.
Center fielder, number 13, Bobby
2 on.
Doyen.
John Farrell deals. Fastball's inside, 1-0. Top of the order up next. Third base is open. A base hit could give the Mainers their first lead of the night. And inching their way back all evening long. The 1-0 pitch, high and inside, ball 2. Backs Dorian off the plate.
Home run came off of Dexter Price. As Farrell misses in tight with 2 straight balls. He's walked 2 with 1 out here.
Time called. Dorian steps out. Adjusts his gloves and taps the plate. Looks out on Farrell. Once again, comes to the stretch. 2-0 pitch. Swung on, pops straight up. Back and out of play. It'll land just behind us. The last row here in the grandstand behind home plate is about where the backstop of most fields are. And there's the intersection. A couple busy roads out there behind us. The 2-0. 2-1 is swung on the sky to the left. That'll land beyond the Newport Visitors Center. Bus station across the street in the Marriott Hotel.
Has there ever been word of a car being derailed out in America's Cup way?
I'm sure it's happened many a time, though they have all those nets that at least prevent some balls from heading out there. Mostly they protect the fans. The 2-2 pitch, swung on and missed. He went around on a breaking ball, strike 3. Is out number 2. So we cycle around to the top of the order for the 6th time tonight. Brett Mollenhauer. He's fly to left, bounced to second, struck out looking, and reached on a fielder's choice. That will do it for John Farrell. Mike Coombs out of the dugout, a new pitcher coming on here in the ninth to get the final out. We'll come back and set the stage next here on the ACBL Broadcast Network. Back here at Cardines Field, we're in the top of the 9th inning, 2 outs. Runners at first and second. The new pitcher on for the Newport Gulls. Another goal making his debut here tonight. This will be the 6th goal that we've seen for the first time in this game. It's almost like opening night again. Mark Appel. Appel out of San Ramon, California. Freshman at Sanford University. 6'5", 200-pound right-hander. Drafted in the 15th round by the Detroit Tigers in 2009. Appeared in 24 games, making 3 starts. He's 2-1. 5.92 ERA and 2 saves for Stanford. Struck out 26 in 38 innings.
He's from Stanford University and a resident of
So he's been called upon by Mike Coombs
California.
to get the final out here in the top of the ninth. Keep this game tied. The Mainers have the go-ahead run at second base. That's Tyler DePrado who walked. Marlon Calby is at first. He pinch ran from Greg Miller, who also walked, both the property of John Farrell. The pitch is outside, ball one to Brett Mollenhauer, who again is 0 for 5 on the ball game.
Loves to go the other way, and there's a big hole on that left side of the infield with the third baseman playing in. See what he does here.
Now the second baseman leg takes a few steps back. The 1-0 pitch. Fastball is inside, 2-0.
That one registering at 91 miles per hour.
Not a lot of fans left here, maybe 900 or 1,000 of the original 2,826. So 2-0 is taken high, ball 3. Third base is open here, but a tied game, you don't want to have a bases loaded situation. As a walker hits batsman could get that go-ahead run home. Well, a base hit could do the same. As Mollenhauer stands in, 3-0 the count. Macapel's pitch is a fastball in there for a strike. That one looked like 93. First look of the season at Macapel. Just came in yesterday along with 5 other Gulls. Pitch, slow ball 4. 3 walks in the inning. The bases are loaded. It's the first walk by Macapel. The other 2, John Farrell. And with the go-ahead run 90 feet away, here comes Matt Mara. Mara was sort of the hero in that game on Saturday night. Made some great plays.
Mara.
And Newport's 3-2 loss to Sanford. He's 1 for 5 tonight. Appel goes to work. He kicks and deals. Breaking ball floats in there for a strike. A good curveball from Appel.
1 for 5 with 3 strikeouts on the night is Matt Mara. Beautiful time to break out for the third baseman if he can get around on a pitch from Appel.
Prado at third, Calby at second, Mollenhauer at first. Bases loaded. Here's the pitch. Ground ball hit to third. Charging Gamache. Throws to first. In time for the out that retires the side, and the Mainers leave him loaded here on the ninth. They've stranded 12 batters on the night. We go to the last of the ninth. Up for the Newport Gulls, the bottom of the order, LG, Sonnenfeld, and Forston. Tied at 8. We're locked here at Cardines Field. The Newport Gulls will try and unlock it when we come back next on the ACBL Broadcast Network. Welcome back here at Cardines Field. We go to the bottom of the ninth inning as Lucas Ellix comes out for a second inning relief. 3 ground outs, a pair of singles in the 8th. He kept the Gulls scoreless. Newport has not had a run across the plate since the second inning. We're tied at 8.
Calby stays into play defense, but it's at third base. Matt Mara patrolling right field now for the Sanford Mainers. Calby came in to run for Greg Miller. He goes to third. Mara goes to right.
First pitch strike is into Zach Elgie, who pitch hit for Matt Blow in the lead off the 7th. He was hit by a pitch. The 0-1 swung on and missed. Strike 2. LG, Sonnenfeld forced it. Up to them. They're trying to keep this game from going to extra innings. Already had 1 extra inning contest, which made us 1 3-2 on Saturday night. In 11, game that took 4 hours and 50 minutes to play with an hour-and-a-half rain delay factored in. 1-2 the count now on LG. Here was the pitch. Swung on and hit in the air to deep left field. Way back it goes. It is off the top of the wall. Grounding first is LG. He's going to head into second and will be in there standing with a leadoff double. Welcome to the Newport Gulls, Zach LG. And Newport has the winning run in scoring position with no one out in the ninth. He hit that one a long way to left, almost to that gap where it was hit out earlier by Bobby Doyen. Now Julian Sonnenfeld can win it for Newport with a base hit. Newport Gulls 2-1 at home so far this season. First place in the ACBL East on the line right now. A win for Newport will move them to a tie with Sanford. Sonnenfeld driven in a run on an RBI fielder's choice. He's 0 for 4. Came in batting Just about 417. The pitch is high and inside ball one as he showed a bunt. Bats from the left side against the righty Alex. Runner leads at second. Infield in. Here's the pitch. Bunts back towards the pitcher's mound. The throw goes to first. It's in time. A sacrifice bunt. Advances Elegy to third. And with one away, the winning run is 90 feet away. Fielded by the pitcher Alex, 1-3 on the sack. Now Chris Forston will have a shot. He's walked twice, struck out and flied to center.
The catcher,
Zach Elegy
number 9,
is the winning run at third base. At the bottom of the ninth at Cardines Field, well past the 3-hour mark in this one. Newport led all the way. They're going to intentionally walk Forston here to set up a force play as Derek Legg, who's 0 for 3, bats next. He has walked twice. Ball 2 outside. Will be the first intentional walk issued to a goal batter this season. Newport led the whole way, but the Mainers came back to tie it up in the 8th. At 8. Gulls had an early 5-0 lead and led 5-1. It was 8-1, but Sanford really clawed their way back into this one. Intentional walk complete. Forston at first base. So they'll take their chances with Derek Legg. He walked twice in the first inning, once with the bases loaded. The infield conference has Aaron Izarek out to the mound. So a word with all of his defenders. The goal is to prevent Zach Elegy from scoring from third.
What he's telling his team right now is make sure you look that runner back to third base and get the easiest out. The double play is not assured here. The Mainers only turning 1 so far this season. Make the sure out and make sure you look back that runner at third base. It's tough down there with a new third baseman, Marlon Calby, seeing his first action at third all season long for the Sanford Mainers. The conference is over, and Sanford will have to tighten up on defense and look to their pitcher, Alex, to get them out of this jam.
Victory not assured here for the Gulls. They've had runners on base throughout the night. They've left 10. Haven't scored since the second. So with runners at the corners here, it's one of their better opportunities. The top of the order up. 1 out. Derek Legg, a bat from the left side. He's came in hitting .389, but is 0 for 3. Leads the Gulls with 6 runs scored, 6 walks, 4 RBI. The pitch, up and away, ball 1. They're getting loud here at Cardines Field. The fans have stayed throughout this one. Game is 3 hours and 10 minutes old. From the stretch, Alex, the 1-0 pitch. Inside, actually outside, ball 2. Alex was the game winner in extra innings on Saturday. He owns this game here in the 9th at Cardines Field. Elegy from third, Forston at first. 1 out. The 2-0 pitch coming to Derek Legg. High and inside, ball 3. A walk here and load the bases for Brendan Kelleher, who is due. Just 1 for 5 tonight. And he came in batting .522.
Really no harm done if Legg is walked. It load the bases, create a force at any base.
Time called as Legg steps out. Alex a long look in. The pitch. Ball 4 and they're loaded up. A goal on every base, 1 out in the 9th. Tied game, and the winning run at third for Newport. Here's Brendan Kelleher. Kelleher, who is the league leader in runs batted in with 10. Leads the Gulls in doubles with 3, is second in the NECBL. Leads the league in hits with 12. Slugging .783. He is 1 for 5 tonight. The double, A run scored, a strikeout. He popped to short, lined to first, and bounced out to short.
The center fielder, number
Leg
6.
at first. Forston at second, and the winning run LG at third. A walk, a base hit, any of that will do it for Newport here. The infield comes in on the edge of the grass all the way around. Here comes Aaron Isaac, and he's going to go to his bullpen here and relieve Lucas Alex. We'll keep it here live during the pitching change. New pitcher comes in for the Sanford Mainers. We're in the bottom of the ninth and tied at 8. The Gulls have the bases loaded and just one out. Sanford looking for a double play or a pair of strikeouts or something of that nature to squeeze out of this one and force another extra inning matchup.
Looks like Eric Ruth will be on the mound for the Sanford Mainers. Ruth on the season in 4 innings pitched has allowed 1 run that came last night. It was earned at North Shore in the 9th inning. 2 hits, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts for the righty from Winthrop University. Sneaky fast on his fastball. Not the biggest of throwers for Coach Isaac, but certainly in a big spot here trying to preserve this tie ball game.
So a Ruth will come on here in the 9th. Check some action around the NECBL. And we had a couple finals. New Bedford came back in the late innings to defeat Laconia 2-1. Danbury over North Adams 2-1. That's the final now. Vermont fell to Holyoke 8-0. Blue Sox shut out the Mountaineers. As Vermont continues to struggle. They fall to 1-5. And at Muzzy Field, they are in extra innings. Bottom of the 10th, Keene and Bristol tied at 2. We're tied at 8 here at Cardines in the bottom of the 9th. Newport Gulls don't want any extra innings tonight. They want to end the homestand on a positive note before they go back on the road tomorrow to face Laconia, then North Shore on Sunday. They return home on Monday for a two-day, one-game stand and host New Bedford. Newport and Sanford don't meet again until June 26th at Goodall Park. All right, here we go. Eric Ruth on to face Brendan Kelleher. Bases are loaded with 1 out in the bottom of the 9th. Winning run at third. Ruth fires the pitch. Looper into the shortstop. He steps to the bag at second, throws to first. Wild throw! Newport Gulls win it. Gulls win here in the 9th as the throw from the shortstop was wild. Mollenhauer threw it away, and he stepped on the bag at second to get 1 out. The only hope was to turn the double play. He threw the ball away, and Newport wins it. It'll be a walk-off RBI fielder's choice for Brendan Kelleher. 9-8 your final score. Newport wins it as Zach Elgie crosses the plate from third.
Give credit to the Sanford Mainers for coming all the way back after being down 8-1. Certainly not the outcome they wanted, but a lot better than it looked after the 2nd inning.
The Newport Gulls walk off the win here tonight. Not the prettiest fashion possible, where they get the job done. It goes as a win, and they move in to a first-place tie with the Sanford Mainers in the NCBL Eastern Division here in the early running of the 2010 season. The Gulls finish the homestand at 2-1 against Eastern Division opponents, and Newport wins it 9-8. Dan Atchison and I will be back.
Hey, what's up?
In just a moment here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Back here at Cardines Field here in Newport, Rhode Island, Newport Gulls win it here in the bottom of the 9th on a walk-off fielder's choice by Brendan Kelleher, who bounced to shortstop. As the Sanford Mainers' only hope was to turn a double play. They couldn't get it done as shortstop Mollenhauer did tag the bag at second for the 2nd out of the inning, but threw it away at first, and that allowed Zach Elgie to cross the plate. And in his first game, his first day here in Newport, becomes the winning run in what turned out to be a wild game Newport winning 9-8. They led almost the entire way, but the Gulls, who were held scoreless since the second inning, finally get that winning run across in the ninth. Dan?
The Mainers certainly put forth a good effort after going down 8-1 after 2 innings, and they just scratched and clawed their way back, scattering 8 runs over the first 8 innings. Did not score on that bases-loaded opportunity in the ninth, but, I think they really came together as a team tonight. The first real test they've had since opening night, and they were very strong and were very close to the end. But they look forward to heading back home tomorrow, where they will take on the New Bedford Bay Sox. And at Goodall Park at 6:30, Dustin Ramey set to take the mound for Sanford.
Dan Ashton, thank you very much for joining us. We'll see you later on in June when the Gulls make the trip to Goodall Park again on the 26th.
Always a pleasure, Nick. Thank you very much.
The Newport Gulls win it here, 9-8, the final score. Totals next on the ACBL Broadcast Network. Welcome back here at Cardines Field. The Newport Gulls post-game report continues. Totals in this one for the Sanford Mainers: 8 runs on 10 hits, 1 error, 12 left on base for the Newport Gulls, 9 runs on 12 hits, 2 errors. They stranded 12 as well. Starters for tonight's game: Corey Nelson went 5 innings, 4 runs, 1 of them earned. He walked 5 hits, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. He also hit 2 batters. He gets the no decision, as does Jim Schultz, who was tagged for 5 runs early, all of them earned in the first inning. In 1 inning of work, 5 earned runs, 3 hits, 5 walks, and a strikeout. He gets the no decision as well, as Lucas Alex, who was the winner in the extra inning contest between these two teams on Saturday night, is tonight's loser. He falls to 1-1. The victory goes to Mark Appel. So Appel improves to 1-0 on the season. The game took 3 hours and 16 minutes to play. It was watched by a sellout crowd of 2,826 here at Cardines Field, the second sellout of the season, 2,826 the attendance tonight. There was 1 home run hit in the game by Bobby Doyen, a controversial home run to left field. On our instant replays, it looked like it hit off about 10 feet up off the fence, but field umpire John Lead said it hit the tree and bounced back into the ballpark, which was a 2-run homer. That was his first home run of the season. Out-of-town scores now, elsewhere around the league tonight. Vermont at Holyoke. It's a final, 8-0. The Blue Sox defeat the Mountaineers. Laconia at New Bedford, 2-1 the score there. New Bedford comes back in late innings to defeat the Muskrats as Laconia drops out of second place. That's a final. Also a final in North Adams as the Steeplecats fall to the Danbury Westerners 2-1. There's still an extra innings in Bristol as the Collegiate Baseball Club is knotted at 2 with the Keene Swamp Bats. They're now in the bottom of the 10th and checking to see if that game has progressed any further out of the bottom of the 10th. Again, at last check, they were tied at 2-2. That was just a few moments ago. And yes, they are still tied at 2-2. And they now go to the bottom of the 11th at Bristol. Both Lowell and North Shore had the night off tonight, so the Newport Gulls and the Sanford Mainers move to a first-place tie in the NECBL Eastern Division. Our next game broadcast tomorrow, the Newport Gulls travel to Laconia. It'll be the Newport Gulls' first trip ever to Laconia, New Hampshire, as Newport takes on Laconia. First pitch at 7 o'clock. They'll be on the air the pregame show at 6:50. We'll have that game for you on the ACBL Broadcast Network. It'll be the Gulls' debut of Tony Bucifero, 7-5, an ERA of 5.08 for the Michigan State University Spartans. Next time Newport plays Sanford will be on Saturday, June 26th at Sanford in Sanford, Maine at Goodall Park at 6:30 start time. Next Newport Gulls home game is on Monday night as the Gulls host the New Bedford Bay Sox. June 14th, we'll be on the air of that one at 6:05, the pregame show. Broadcast start time, first pitch at 6:35. Don't go away, folks. We'll be down on the field with our Player of the Game interview next here on the ACBL Broadcast Network. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Don't go away.
Welcome back here at Cardines Field as our Newport Gulls post-game report continues. Now joined by Gulls player of the game, Zach Elgey. Zach, welcome to Newport.
Yes, it's fun. I'm glad to see a lot of fans out, and to come up in the inning there and lead us off with a double, and then to score was a great way to be welcomed to Newport.
When did you get in?
I got in last night at about 5 o'clock or so, and hung out with my host family, and it was a lot of fun yesterday. And show up at the ballpark today and ready to play ball.
Oh, I haven't done much of my homework yet, so I don't know much about you. Where are you coming from? Why were you late? Were you still playing playoffs? Or?
I had some doctor's appointments back home. I go to school at the University of Kansas, and had to go home, and I live in North Dakota, so I had to go home, get the doctor's appointments taken care of, and then head out here. So glad to be here, ready for a fun summer.
So is this your first time ever here in Rhode Island?
It's my first time to the East Coast, so so far so good, and I'm excited.
Certainly should be a great experience for you as the Newport Gulls here in your first game walk off to win on a fielder's choice in the ninth inning, 9-8. Well, it looked like that could be anybody's game running up in those last few innings, but the team, the bullpen, was able to at least keep the score close and keep it tied as the Gulls had that big chance in the ninth.
Yeah, I mean, it was a team effort. We started out hot with the bats, and bullpen kind of held us, stuck it in there, and kept it close and gave us an opportunity to win. And to go up there to lead it off, and just try to put the ball and play hard, and go out there and we'll take the win.
So you were hit by a pitch in your first at bat, coming on the pinch hit in the seventh, then that big leadoff double in the ninth. What were you thinking when you stepped up to the plate in the ninth inning in a tied game?
Just kind of focus on what we've kind of been preaching about, and to go in, see the ball, and basically try to put it in play hard. And I got a good pitch. It kind of looked foolish a little bit earlier in the at bat, but that's part of the game. And we always talk about having a quick memory and forgetting about things. And got a good pitch to hit and put a good swing on it.
Zach Elgey, thank you for joining us during the post-game report. Welcome here to Cardines Field.
Thank you very much.
We'll catch up with you later in the season. That's our player of the game interview. We'll be back to wrap things up next here on the ACBL Broadcast Network. Welcome back here one final time at Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island. The Gulls walk off to win here to wrap up the homestand. Newport improves to 3-1 at home, and we're 2-1 on the homestand against Eastern Division action as the Gulls move into a first-place tie with the Sanford Mainers in the NECBL Eastern Division. Newport begins a road trip tomorrow. Before we tell you about that, let's pause a moment and thank those who made this broadcast possible. The executive producer of Newport Gulls Baseball is Tom Lima. Our associate producer and dugout camera person tonight was Jacob Hoyt, and our statistician was Josh Leibowitz. For Dan Atchison, I'm Nick Lima here at Cardines Field. Newport Gulls win it in walk-off fashion here tonight in a tight one, 9-8 the final score. Newport goes on the road tomorrow to face the Laconia Muskrats for the second time this season. Newport 1-0 against Laconia as they make their first trip to Laconia, New Hampshire. We'll be on the air tomorrow night with the pregame show at 6:50. First pitch at 7 o'clock. We hope you'll join us then. Newport Gulls win it here tonight in walk-off fashion in the ninth. Again, your final score, one final time, 9-8. Hope you tune in to our next Newport Gulls game broadcast. Thank you for watching tonight, and until our next broadcast, so long, everybody.